And beyond just our good running and also our good passing, there's also targets there as well. So Luke Skinner is going to be leading. He leads the team with 20 catches on the year, 253 yards and 3 touchdowns. Caden Toburin also adds chunk plays. You know, he's had 8 catches for 146 yards. That's basically almost a little over 18 yards receiving per catch, plus 2 touchdowns on the season. And then Levi Smith plus Jace Perkins have also contributed some timely scores as well.
Yeah, don't forget Rock Creek's win last week. They beat Abilene 28-14 with the total yards with 360 and only holding Abilene to 117 yards on defense. That's amazing for Rock Creek, holding Abilene to 117 yards and just an entire game. That's amazing. And the Mustangs stuff. Oh my gosh, I'm selling. But Rock Creek last game, they did really good on defense. D-line really get into that backfield and really holding the Cowboys to really nothing. They really did nothing on offense last week, and we'll see how they do versus the Clay Center Tigers today.
Absolutely. You know, it's always those NCKL matchups, man, between the Abilenes of the world, the Rock Creeks, the Clay Centers, the Chapmans. I mean, there's always a good competitive, athletic, hard-fought in the trenches type of game. And going back to Zane Bell, man, he's also carried the ball just so good. He did a great job last week against Abilene. 42 rushes, 248 yards for a pair of touchdowns. And then also the passing game produced 134 yards and 2 touchdowns. There was 3 turnovers last week that did keep it interesting, but Rock Creek still has controlled the third down rates at 53%, so just 8 out of 15. And also they've done a really good job this season of controlling the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, also the kicking game stayed clean. Jackson Pendle tacked on 2 PATs, an average of 46 yards on 2 punts. His long was 51 for field position control.
Yeah, absolutely. So so far all 3 phases of the games have done pretty well. And what we're going to do is we're going to continue the pregame coming up here in just a few moments, but we're going to step aside for the playing of the national anthem here at Mark A. Chapman Activity Complex Center in Clay Center, Kansas.
You're listening to Rock Creek's pregame show presented by Fox Home Innovations. Dream it and Fox builds it. Up next, the Clay Center Tigers.
Absolutely. And so now before we get into a preview of the primer for Clay Center's team for tonight, remember the defense has been outrageous for Rock Creek. 385 total yards allowed all season. Think about that. 385 total yards allowed across 4 games all season long. The opponents have just 42 rushing yards. Total.
That's insane.
42 rushing yards. That's an average of like 10 rushing yards per game across the first 4 games. And so the defense is going to be the big highlight for Rock Creek tonight here in Clay Center.
There's disruptives everywhere. Wyatt Rottinghouse leads with 4 sacks. Edra Spiller with 2 interceptions plus 1 forced fumble. Nathan Allen sits at 25 total tackles. Carson Kirksley at 18, and the group has rung up 13 sacks, 26 TFLs, and 6 takeaways. They win early downs and suffocate drives.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, so it's consistent high-level resorts, just like Fox Home Innovations. If you can dream it, Fox will certainly build it for you as well. Now, again, we're at Marquette Chapman Activity Complex here in Clay Center, Kansas. A huge NCKL matchup tonight between Rock Creek and Clay Center. So Clay Center coming in tonight, they come in 3-1 on the season with wins over Abilene, Lewisburg, and also Chapman, where they did win last week 44-8. Now, the lone loss on the season was to Southeast of Saline.
Yeah, the one thing that really cost them that loss to Southeast Saline is they were not able to get that running game established all game. Southeast Saline was really able to shut down. One thing is to identify the run. Through 4 games, they've logged 137 carries for 617 yards, 206 yards a game, and 6 touchdowns. Passing has been minimal, 2 completions for 34 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. So expect a heavy dose of ground and pound this game.
Yeah, but then also defensively, they're active. Roughly 186 total tackles, 12 for loss, about 3 sacks, and 5 interceptions so far. So they'll be crowding the box, challenge the mesh, and try to force a young starter into mistakes. So we're just a few moments away from kickoff. We're sitting about 6:20 left on the Glavin Ford clock. What we're going to do is we're going to go now to our routes to victory, brought to you by Sunflower Consulting and Bookkeeping.
Gotta love that picture.
You gotta love it, man. Built Ford tough. So with the sophomore Tate Smith taking the reins tonight, Rock Creek's path is clear. They want to establish the run. Also, ride Zane Bell behind this line and set a physical tone early, so use a little bit of a pace to wear down the Tigers. Also, number 2, we want to protect the quarterback. You got to build confidence with quick game, play action off of Bell, and also design keepers. You got to stay on schedule and away from long third downs. Honestly, that's kind of been the kryptonite for Rock Creek on the season. And then also the third route to victories, you have to let the defense dictate. This unit owns first and second downs. You got to keep Clay Center behind the sticks and force them away from their first run comforts.
For the Tigers, it's about identifying and hitting yards. Pound the rock, string together first downs, chew clock, and keep Bell and Smith on the sideline. Number 2, create takeaways. Rock Creek showed last week that turnovers can crop up, turn those into points. Win special teams, flip fields with punts and coverage, make Rock Creek drive 70 to 80 yards all night.
Absolutely. And once again, thank you to Sunflower Consulting and Bookkeeping on our routes to victory for both teams tonight here in Clay Center. Now, an elite Rock Creek defense and a bell cow ground game now with Tate Smith, the quarterback, against a 3-1 Clay Center squad is totally built for trench warfare.
Our pregame show has been presented by Fox Home Innovations. Dream it and Fox builds it. Kickoff is next on Backroads Broadcasting, presented by Rampage Academy. Powered by Rampage Academy.
All right, welcome back to Marquette Chapman Activity Complex here in Clay Center, Kansas. Huge NCKL matchup tonight against your undefeated Rock Creek Mustangs and the 3-1 Clay Center Tigers. Now looking at the starting lineups for the Rock Creek offense at quarterback tonight, if you didn't hear, we got number 8, Tate Smith, the 6-foot, 175-pound sophomore, is getting the rock to start off for the Mustangs. At center, we've got Ryan Wickman. Left guard, we've got Nick Allen. We've got Corday Kirksley, our left tackle on the evening. Wade Rottinghouse is the right guard, and right tackle is Cody Hastertz. Our left wide receiver, we have Noah Valberg, the 6'1", 175-pound junior, and then also Brody Clark, number 9, the 6'1", 165-pound junior, will be on the left side. Our right wide receiver tonight, welcome back to the lineup. We got number 88, Peter Martini, the 6'1", 175-pound sophomore or senior, returns back to our starting lineup, and right behind him on the right wide receiver position is number 10, Wyatt Wells, the 6'1", 180-pound junior. Now our ex-receiver, we've got Luke Skinner. He's our starter, our 5'11", 170-pound junior. And then our wide receiver, we have number 7, Ezra Spiller. Huge, great catcher for the Rock Creek Mustangs baseball team. Our 6', 220-pound senior is our wide receiver. And then at halfback tonight, we've got Carson Toburin, our 6', 195-pound senior. Now looking at the defensive side of the ball for Rock Creek, we've got our nose tackle. We've got Wade Rottinghouse and Grady Hastertz is our defensive tackle. Our defensive ends, We've got Corday Kirksey and also Cole Greenwood handling the ends as well. Our Sam linebacker, we've got Carson Toburin. Our Mike linebacker, we have Ezra Spiller. Our Will linebacker, we have Nick Allen, number 52. And then Caden Payton is our bandit linebacker. And of course, we run a 3-4 set quite often here as well. Our starting cornerbacks, we've got number 1 Luke Skinner and number 14 Jesse Lies. We've got our free safety, Noah Valberg, and then our strong safety, number 23 Jackson Pendle. So, Xander, my friend, you've been at all for the contest so far. What's kind of your early thoughts for Rock Creek against Clay Center for this evening?
Well, Clay Center obviously is expecting to run a lot. If you're Rock Creek here, play action, RPOs are really going to be your biggest things to go to this game. Obviously, the run game is our bread and butter, but if Clay Center is able to stop that early, the passing game will really have to come up big. If you're Clay Center, they're going to have to stop the run. That is their biggest thing, is stopping the run. Making Rock Creek pass. So far this season, passing has been their biggest weakness. If they can do that, they can possibly win this game.
Absolutely. So the kickoff, the coin toss just happened. Clay Center did win the coin toss. They deferred to the second half. Rock Creek is going to be getting the ball to start off this contest. So both teams coming in tonight, set up here. The first weekend in October. You got to love October football.
Oh, man, Halloween.
Oh, baby, Halloween month indeed. We'll have, the 31st, Halloween's going to be a Friday night. So we'll have some actual Friday night, the 31st football later on this month. But right now, it still kind of feels like I don't know, you see those memes all the time. Like there's like early fall, fourth fall, like you get the return of those, because right now at kickoff, we're sitting at 84 degrees, nice little south wind. It was actually a pretty warm day today.
Oh, yeah, it was pretty warm towards the middle of the day, but now since it's like getting the football night, it's starting to cool off.
It's certainly going to be a beautiful night for some football. Once again, we've got a lot of storylines for this evening. We've got our starting quarterback, Tate Smith. He's going to be handling the quarterback duties for the Mustangs. But our ground game so far, we've had just such a great ground game on the season. We'll see how Clay Center's defense is able to respond.
Yeah, and if you're Clay Center here, kicking to receiving in the second half is a big thing, I would say. If assuming Rock Creek has a one-score lead going into halftime, having this ball coming out of the second half will be really important for the Tigers. And if you're Rock Creek, you're going to have to score often and early. These Clay Center Tigers are really going to want to rack up the score before halftime. So if you're the defense or offense, you're going to have to score, and also you're going to have to hold the Tigers.
Absolutely. So Rock Creek is set to receive the ball to start off the game. There's the kickoff. And that one's going to be allowed to roll into the end zone. Just gets out past the hands of Luke Skinner. It's okay. Goes back into the end zone. No time on the clock as we see the Rock Creek Mustang offense marching onto the field for the first drive of the ball game.
Yeah, Tate Smith going to lead this offense out. It'll be his first drive as for me to be able to see him starting as a starting quarterback. So we'd like to see what they'll come out in. Zion Bell is going to have to be a very big X factor for them if they're going to really want to pound this ball, which they've done so far for the last 4 games that I have commentated. So we'll see how they do tonight.
So we got 3 receivers to the left. We got 1 receiver to the right. Single receiver. We got a single running back in the background. That is Zion Bell. As we got flags on the call.
Or a false start there.
Before we even get the play off. Still 12 minutes left on the clock. And that is a false start on the offense. So that's going to be a 5-yard penalty. Not a good way to start for the Rock Creek offense. So that's going to push us back first down and 15 from the 15-yard line.
For the Mustangs here, penalties are really going to hurt you. Last game they had 50 yards in penalties. And if you're going to want to beat the Tigers tonight, you're going to have to hurt yourself here.
Absolutely. So we've got, they'd taken a tick off the clock. The ball hadn't quite snapped just yet. So they're resetting the clock back to 12 minutes. The kickoff rolled through the end zone. There was a false start to start off. And so here we go. Now we're officially set to get underway from Mark A. Chapman Activity Complex here in Clay Centers. We got 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Smith's going to hand it off to Bell. Bell's going to get just a couple of yards on the left side, gain of about 4. Get almost to the original line of scrimmage. Of course, the first play of the game was a false start. He gets pretty close. That's going to push down at 2nd down and 11 now.
Was able to get back the yards they lost. They're great gap there on the left side of the line, just making a good gap for Bell to fit through, but just great job by the linebacker there being able to get him down.
2 receivers to the left. We've got One receiver in motion. We got Toburin in motion. Smith's going to fake the handoff. He's going to find Toburin. Toburin's going to get some space on the outside. He's going to run. He's got a big first down plus a big gain. He's going to get almost to midfield, get to the 46-yard line before he's brought down by Isaac Gurton, the linebacker for Clay Center. A huge pitch and catch and a great pass play for some yardage gained right here in the first opening drive of the game.
Yeah, one thing that's different from last game to this game is they were already throwing a pass play. The last game, they did not throw their first pass until they really needed to. And Tate Smith, first completion to number 80, which I believe is Peter Martini, is already got 15 yards.
Number 80 is actually Ethan Tonzer, who got the first big catch of the game, as Zion Bell is going to take the ball, not quite get back to the line of scrimmage. In fact, he's going to lose a couple on that play. That's going to bring up, that was actually a 3-yard loss, so that's going to bring up 2nd down and 13 now for the Mustangs offense.
Great job there by the Tigers, really setting that edge and not making Bell able to get past them, and we'll see what they do here.
So we got 4 receivers to the right, 1 receiver to the left. Smith is in the shotgun. He's going to have a hard snap, almost pulled Clay Center off sides. As he looks back to the bench to see what they want to do, he's going to get his call. He's going to snap his hands. He's going to take the ball. He's going to drop back. He's going to look to his left. He's going to find Tonzer open, but there's 3 Tigers around him. Going to get a couple of yards past the original line of scrimmage. Going to get a total gain of about 4 yards on that play, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and 8 yards to go. So a gain of 5 on that pass from Smith to Tonzer.
For Tate Smith here on these long, 3rd and longs, you're really going to have to look for your tallest wide receivers, and Toburin is that guy. So far 2 passes and already has roughly 17 yards. So if you're Tate Smith here, you're going to have to go to your guys.
4 receivers to the right as Smith rolls out to his right. He's going to throw the ball. He's going to find Luke Skinner wide open. Skinner's going to be catching the ball as he slides. Gain of 2 yards on that play. Nowhere near the sticks, and so that's going to bring up a big 4th down. And it looks like Rock Creek is bringing the punt team out onto the field.
Yeah, unfortunately, Tate Smith, a little bit underthrown ball. If he would ever get that ball to number 1, Luke Skinner, that possibly could have been a 1st down, but unfortunate there by Tate Smith.
So Rock Creek, their opening drive is going to be resulting here in a punt, as it looks like there's a flag on the play. As the punt gets off, Jackson Pendle, the punter, as the ball rolls a little bit too far, it's going to roll into the end zone. They're going to call that a touchback. It is going to be 1st down for Clay Center. But again, there's going to be a penalty flag on the field.
Could possibly have a holding call there.
As the White Hat is talking to the Clay Center head coach. Clay Center, of course, is coached by Mark Henry, our head coach.
And it will be on the Mustangs.
As we're going to officially get the call on the play. Trying to figure out what they're going to be doing with the ball here. So that's going to be an illegal formation on the offense. So there's going to be a 5-yard penalty. Looks like they're going to be replaying the down instead of declining that penalty. And it is going to be looks like they're going to be keeping the punt team out on the field for Rock Creek.
I do really like this, actually, because the possibility that we just see it almost held him back to the 1-yard lines here. So if you're the punter, you're most likely trying to get this ball deep once again.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was a pretty good kick by Pendle. Almost got down at the 1-yard line, did roll into the end zone, but with the illegal procedure, it wouldn't have mattered much anyway. So from the 46-yard line, there goes the snap. Another flag on the play. A beautiful punt by Pendle. Fair catch is called at the 16-yard line. I guess we'll figure out what this hanky is. As we're sitting 9:07 left here in the first quarter, as we have another illegal formation on the offense. We're going to be replaying 4th down once again. So who knows? We're playing with fire here. I'm calling it right here. We're going to get something good's going to come out of this for Rock Creek.
Yeah, as people don't, as the saying goes, ball don't lie. So something good could happen.
Balls certainly don't lie. So back-to-back penalties. And actually, honestly, we are not even quite 3 minutes into the game, and that's already the 3rd penalty on Rock Creek. Discipline's a huge you know, you got to have the discipline to not be making penalties. So hopefully it doesn't play too much of a factor into this game as the punt team stays out on the field for Rock Creek.
Jackson Pendle back there to punt again. If you're Rock Creek, like I said earlier, penalties are going to hurt you. So if you want to win this game, you're going to have to knock down these penalties.
As the snap is off, it's another booming punt. Honestly, that's a little bit better than the second punts. Fair catch is called for Clay Center. It's going to be down at the 22-yard line. That's where the Tigers will take over 1st down and 10 from their own 22-yard line. So our first look at the Rock Creek defense, of course, this defense has been lights out so far on the season. We were talking about it in the pregame show. They've actually allowed only just a little bit over 40 yards of total rushing offense for the entire season so far.
Yeah, for the Mustangs, it's the D-line that's doing all the work. Really love how they're getting to the backfield. Also, got to give credit to the secondary. Ezra Spiller he's basically another defensive lineman, really being able to fill in the gaps that are open. And last week, he shot out of the cannon to get a really important sack to help the Mustangs win last week. So we'd like to see what happens here.
Absolutely. Ezra Spiller, the Mike linebacker for the Mustangs, been playing really good ball for the Mustangs all season long as the first handoff for the first touch of the ball game actually for the Clay Center offense is just going to be a gain of 1 up the middle. It's going to be a tackle by Cole Greenwood and also Grady Hastert for Rock Creek. So not much going on that. As Clay Center does run a single back set most of the ball game, they do have a couple of different wide receiver sets as we've got 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. It's going to be crossing routes. Straight up the middle again. Isaac Girton is the running back for Clay Center. Getting stopped. Looks like that might have been maybe just a gain of a foot, not too much. Another big stop. It's going to be Cole Greenwood and Grady Hastert. Those, like you mentioned, Xander, that awesome defensive line making some huge stops on the season, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 9.
Yeah, if you're Clay Center here, if you're going to want to get yards, you're going to have to find more ways to beat them. Obviously, these first 2 plays on the round, the Mustangs have smelted out, and so far only a gain of about a yard, so going to have to attack him early with the pass. Drew
Hoffman, the quarterback for Clay Center. Hard counts right there, but he's going to get taken down in the backfield.
But number 51.
That is a huge sack by Wade Rottinghouse, the 5'9", 200-pound senior, smoking right through there and getting a big sack for the Mustangs.
If we get a replay right there, number 51 shot. I don't even think he was touched by the O-lineman. He just basically swim past him and got to the quarterback. If we get to see the replay,
Hoffman's he got the ball, dropped back to pass, and didn't even see what happens. Rottinghouse is right there in his face. Huge sack. Brings up a big 4th down, and Clay Center is punting the ball now. As
Luke Skinner back there to receive, but won't let it roll out of bounds. Tate Smith in this offense gets to come back here.
Absolutely. So huge defensive stand. I mean, it's the defensive line for Rock Creek that's only allowed just a hair over 40 yards of total rushing defense on the entire season. Now, if the offense can just move the ball a little bit, we're going to be in pretty good shape with that, backed by that awesome defense.
Yeah, if you're Tate Smith here, last drive, I'd say very successful for basically kind of your first start. 2 really good passes. The third one just a little sad that you couldn't get it there, but as long as you keep consistent, they should be good.
Absolutely. As we had trip receivers to the right, handing the ball off to the middle to Zion Bell. Bell's going to get a big rush of 9 yards, almost to midfield for Rock Creek. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 1, tackle by Levi Kramer for Clay Center. So it's going to be another great set. I mean, Tate Smith in the first drive had a couple big passes to Ethan Tonzer. Bell was pretty much held kind of quiet as Bell's going to take the ball right here. He's going to get up the middle. He's going to push his way. He's going to be with the gain of momentum. He's going to get the 1st down, and he's going to get exactly to the 50-yard line.
If you're the Clay Center Tigers here, you also have to realize Bell he might be small. He's very elusive, and if you can just get to him, he's also very physical. He might be short, might be elusive. He's also very physical. He has the drive of his legs are very strong, very able to push the pile. If you're Clay Center here, you got to stop this run. That's 2 straight run plays, and that was just the 1st down. So if you're Clay Center, you got to be more physical on that D-line.
92 carries, 588 yards. I mean, he's been averaging 6.39 yards per carry coming into this ball game, as we're going to get another couple right here. So we're approaching 100 carries total on the season, 10 touchdowns for Zion Bell, and that was another great effort. Gain of 3, a little bit below his season average, with a tackle by Levi Kramer for Clay Center on that play, which brings up 2nd down and 8. They're now on the Tigers side of the ball for the first time this evening.
Yeah, if you're the Tigers here, stopping this run is very important, but also do not forget this pass game. So far on the very first drive for the Mustangs, Tate Smith threw 2 passes, and they were really good passes. So,
absolutely. As the play goes off, Smith is going to throw the ball. It's going to be far. It's going to be a deep pass of about 30 yards. It's going to get caught.
it's a catch.
It's going to be caught by Peter Martini, but it is going to be ruled out of bounds. So they're going to be calling that one a 3rd down and 8. That was a beautiful pass. I mean, that ball held up in the air pretty well. Martini went up, grabbed it, but he did not quite come back down in bounds. And so that is going to bring up 3rd down and 8 now for this Mustangs offense. As we have 3 receivers to the right, we also have Bell lined up to the right. Smith is in the backfield. He's going to grab the ball. He's going to run to his right. He's going to run a gun. He's going to throw. He's going to find Luke Skinner. Skinner's going to make a nice little juke move after contact. He's going to get close to the sticks. I don't think he quite got it. But that was a pretty good effort by Smith to Skinner to get pretty close to the 1st down, as that's going to bring up a big 4th down now and a huge decision for Coach Shane Sieben and this Rock Creek Mustang offense.
If you're Rock Creek here, you're definitely going for it. Last week, they went for it on every 4th down. I believe they only punted 1 time last week. Right there, good job there by Luke Skinner, just making the catch and just able to be very evasive and almost got that 1st down. So.
You know, that speaks to the philosophy of Coach Shane Sieben. I really enjoy how he coaches his baseball teams. He loves a lot of bunting, loves playing small ball. Same thing with football. On the football side, you got to go for those 4th downs. And when you have a running back like Zion Bell, you got to power it through. As they give Bell the ball here, he's going to get another 1st down for Mustangs. Going to get up to the 38-yard line. A huge carry for Zion Bell as the drive continues for this Rock Creek Mustang offense.
Yeah, I didn't know if you noticed what I noticed, but basically that D-line basically penetrated the O-line, but just the speed of Bell being able to just shoot straight through that gap is just – it's very amazing to me how fast he just accelerates through the hole.
And absolutely, the offensive line led by Ryan Wickman, our center, just kind of pushed through, and it made it to where there was a nice hole, and it also got the 1st down for Rock Creek. As Tate Smith is going to take a hard count. He's going to look back to the sideline to see if there's any adjustments. So we got 2 receivers to the right. We do have Carson Taburon lined up to the right as well. So trips to the right. We've got Peter Martini on the left-hand side. A little bit of confusion, and it's going to be a timeout, actually. The offensive line is going to be calling a timeout for Clay Center.
Yeah, I don't know if it was just an alignment issue or just kind of didn't really know the play there, but really unfortunate for Rock Creek burning a timeout there with that momentum just really stacking.
3:51 left here in the 1st quarter. From Mark A. Chapman Activity Center and Clay Center, I'm Tyler Jackson. Alongside my man Xander. Xander, you've been doing a great job all season, friends.
Yeah.
So you're a senior at Rock Creek, aren't you?
Yeah, I am indeed.
So you want to eventually do this for a living?
Yeah, that would be my dream.
Well, so far so good, right?
Yeah, I would say I'm the greatest, but I will say I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to do something that most people don't get to do. So it's very rewarding to be able to be up here with you, Tyler.
Well, hey, I take that very kindly. I was honored to be able to ask to come out and do this. It was a long time ago. I got to be the sideline reporter for Rock Creek football back in the old Mike Beam days, man. That was a long time ago. But, yeah, so grateful to be here with you, my friend.
I know, it's for you too.
As we come back out, we got 2 receivers to the right. We got Peter Martini lined up to the left. Smith is in the backfield. He's got Bell on his side. As Smith's going to take the ball back, he's going to look to the left. He's going to find Peter Martini wide open, and that's going to be a big Rock Creek Mustang touchdown.
Great job there by Tate Smith looking for his openings. He looked deep, and Peter Martini was wide open. Unfortunate there by the cornerback, just really giving him too much space for him to cut inside. If you're the cornerback there, you're really trying to keep an inside push just because what just happened there, the wide receiver just able to cut inside, and when your quarterback plays outside coverage, it's really hard to cut back inside when you have the speedster just like Martini.
Well, looking at the replay, if you look at it, Tate Smith did a really good job of selling his throw to the right. His eyes were to the right, then you look back real left to the left. Martini on that streak right down the left hash mark catches the ball, takes it into the end zone as Rock Creek is going to be kicking the extra point to put the cherry on top of the sundae and go up with 3:44 left here in the first quarter. It is going to be 7-0 Rock Creek. And of course, that touchdown right now and all season long is brought to you by Faith Furniture. You got to have faith. Faith Furniture of Manhattan bringing you the touchdowns all season long.
If you're Clay Center there, little unfortunate for the touchdown, as if we already seen the replay, but there was no safety help up top. It was only man on man. If there was a safety up there, it might have been a little help, but great job there by Tate, looking for his options and saw Martini just wide open downfield.
You know, honestly, that might have been one of the benefits of taking the timeout out of bounds to be able to identify that the defense was lined up in that particular set, because, I mean, they've been watching against the run all evening, and so far, Zion Bell, I mean, you got to be watching for him. Just got burned on the back end, and it was a huge touchdown for Rock Creek and a pretty big lead on their second time touching the ball on this game.
Yeah, like you said earlier, when you're just so trained to, stop the run, that when the pass comes, you're not really ready for it. As, like I said earlier, there was no safety help up top there to really help take down Martini, and so that's why he was really just wide open there. But we'll see how the Clay Center Tigers respond on this next drive. Jackson
Pinto, the kicker now for Rock Creek, kicking from his own 45-yard line. We got one guy in the back. We got number 25 for Clay Center to receive the ball. That is Isaac Gurton, the 5'11", 205-pound senior. He's also the kicker. It's kind of fun. So kicker to kicker on this play. As Gurton's going to get this one inbounds, he's going to take it from his own 4-yard line. He's going to hit the right seam, make a big move. He makes a big spin move around a couple of different Mustangs. He's going to break it outside. He's going to get to midfield. He's going to get to Rock Creek territory before he gets pushed out of bounds at the 45-yard line. So a huge return by the running back, Isaac Gurton. Again, the 5'11", 205-pound senior for Clay Center. And that not only is going to give them great field position, but it's also going to give them momentum to start their next offensive drive.
Good job there by Ethan Litzel, just really finding the openings and broke some tackles there. Unfortunate that Rock Creek could not bring him down. It also kind of hurts their defense here, as now the Clay Center Tigers are set up at Rock Creek's 44-yard line. So a little unfortunate there. We'll see how the defense responds.
Absolutely. So Drew Hoffman, the quarterback now, he did take a big sack on the third down play in the first opening drive for Clay Center. Is going to be under the center once again. He's going to hand off the middle. This is going to be Gurton, the guy that just returned the ball. He's going to get pretty close to the sticks by the time he actually gets taken down.
Little unfortunate there. With the way Clay Center plays, the defensive line really has to play a guessing game, just because how close the running back and the quarterback are just so close to each other. As one of the D-line lunged at the quarterback, but the ball is already in the fullback's hands, so they're really playing a guessing game.
Absolutely. So that big tackle by Ezra Spiller right there brings up second down and one as Hoffman gets back under center. He's going to hand the ball off to Gurton. Gurton's going to take it straight through the middle. Good old-fashioned fullback style, because they run a single halfback set for Clay Center, but they'll run a couple of different fullbacks at any given time. And on that one, Isaac Gurton was the running back, the 5'11", 205-pound senior, getting an extra couple yards and the big first down for Clay Center.
If you're Clay Center's head coach here, you're really loving how they're responding after letting up a touchdown.
Absolutely. As we've got Ethan Littrell in motion. He's going to take the ball. He's going to find a corner on the outside. And he's going to take it all the way in. That's going to be a Clay Center touchdown. Virtually went in untouched. So the way that breaks down is Ethan Litzel was in motion. He started off as the left. As you look at it, he was kind of in the tight end position. He went into motion. Hoffman flipped the ball over to Litzel. Litzel came around the corner virtually untouched, making his way into the end zone, and that's a huge touchdown for the Tigers.
Yeah, really unfortunate there. Rock Creek just pretty much kind of smelt it out, but then quarterback kind of ran with the ball, and then pretty much history was made.
Absolutely. As we've got the PAT attempt on its way. That's going to make it. Oh, it wasn't pretty, but it got in.
Almost was blocked there by the D-line.
It almost was. It was indeed. So 2 minutes and 30 seconds left here in the opening quarter from Clay Center, Kansas. We've got your Rock Creek Mustangs 7 and Clay Center 7. So far, kind of what we've expected. Both teams have touched the ball twice. Each team has scored one touchdown.
Yeah, Clay Center responded beautifully. Rock Creek drove down the field and threw a shot to Peter Martini, and then Clay Center was like, well, you can score, so can we. So good kick return, and then just ran it right into the end zone. Great job there by the Tigers, and now we shall see how Tate Smith and the offense will respond.
Each team scored so far on this contest. As we've got Luke Skinner and also Zion Bell Deep to receive for Rock Creek. So far, the offense of Rock Creek has been playing pretty well, especially with new quarterback Tate Smith under center. The 6', 170-pound sophomore getting his first start on the year.
Yes.
So far, so good.
Yeah, so far the difference between Gavin Rosa and Tate Smith was Tate Smith, they're really more of a passive offense compared to when Rosa was in. It was more of kind of a run-heavy.
As the kickoff is going to be inbounds, it's going to be pretty close.
And it went out of bounds.
Oh, the white hat was about to start calling a touchback, but the line judge throws the flag. That's a benefit, honestly, for Rock Creek. Going to get a couple extra yards out of this. I think they're kind of converting down in the end zone. Yeah, he's going to throw the flag. They're going to call that. They're going to call illegal procedure penalty on Clay Center. That ball is going to go out of bounds. It was pretty close. That could have gone either way.
Yeah.
You saw the white hat start to do the touchback. All right, so instead of re-kicking, Rock Creek has elected to take the ball first down from their own 35-yard line. So 65 yards to go for the third offensive possession for Rock Creek. So far, the offense has been playing pretty well.
Yeah, for Tate Smith, one passing touchdown and some really good passes. Unfortunate there that Clay Center gave up their first penalty of the game. We'll see how Tate Smith and the offense will respond on this drive.
We got trips to the right. Martini lined up by himself on the left. They're going to hand the ball off to Zion Bell from shotgun. He's going to get a couple of yards past the original line of scrimmage before taken down by a whole host of Tigers. We're going to be number 64, that's Gavin Riles, making the stop for Clay Center. Not much up the middle, but so far that's kind of been the formula for success for a lot of Rock Creek's ground game on the season. As we got trips to the right, Martini's the single receiver to the left. Smith's going to take it. He's going to look to the left. He's going to find Martini on a sliding catch pretty close to the sticks, but there's going to be a penalty flag from the home sideline judge, and they're going to be calling a chop block. It's going to be called against Clay Center.
Be on number 51.
It's going to be Wade Rottinghouse, the powerhouse defensive lineman, our right guard. Ooh, yeah.
A little unfortunate there. Another penalty that's really kind of hurting this offense. That was a great pass there by Tate Smith, finding Martini pretty much wide open. So for sliding catch. But just that penalties are just kind of really pushing him back here.
And, of course, the chop block's a personal foul, so that's a 15-yard penalty. So instead of being 3rd down and 1, we're going to be replaying 2nd down, and we're going to be 2nd down and quick math. We're going to be 2nd down and 24, which is huge for Clay Center, or huge for Rock Creek. So we got trips to the rights. We're going to hand it off to Zion Bell. Bell is going to get just a couple of yards, a couple as in 2 yards, not quite back to the 25-yard line, as it's going to be 3rd down and long to go for the Mustangs.
For Clay Center here, this is what you've been wanting, an obvious passing down. So the defensive line's been really aggressive on the O-line for Rock Creek and been very disruptive. So an obvious passing down is really what they've been looking for all night.
And honestly, they've been getting some pretty lucky breaks with Rock Creek's 5 penalties now.
I believe so, yeah.
I mean, there was 3 penalties on the opening drive. The first play of the game was a false start, illegal procedure for Rock Creek. So 5 penalty yards now, or 5 penalties for several yards. That's been kind of hurting this offense. As we've flipped in the field, we've got trips receivers to the left. As Smith is going to roll to his left, he's going to keep looking left. He's going to go up. He's going to find a huge catch by Brody Clark. Clark is going to get pretty close to the sticks. Martini's out on the field. He wants it. Looks like it's going to be about a yard short. And so this is going to be a huge call for Coach Sieben to see what they want to do here on 4th down.
That's amazing by Tate Smith there. Really took his time and managed to find Brody Clark basically wide open there, and now went from about 25 yards out, now down to 1 yard. So 24-yard gain, really loving that.
4th down and 1 from the 44-yard line. We're going to be having that Ezra Spiller 2 fullback set. Zion Bell, as Smith goes under center, he's going to hand off to his left to Zion Bell. Bell's going to find room on the outside. He's going to be making his way out. He's got a huge run right here. He's going to step out of bounds at the 25-yard line. So it goes from a 4th down and 1, turns into a huge gain, getting to the Clay Center side of the ball for the Mustangs.
If you're Clay Center here, that's a very big letdown. From a 3rd down and 25 to now the ball at your own, believe it is 25. We're going to call it the 25.
Yeah,
that's a big letdown.
Yeah, it's actually at the 23-yard line, so that's a huge, huge play and a great call by Rock Creek as they're going to line up in that same set. Smith's going to go under center. They're going to basically call the same exact play once again, give the ball to Zion Bell. He's going to make a couple of yards. He's going to get down to the 20-yard line, which brings us into the red zone. And, of course, the red zone this half is brought to you by Bill Disberger at Crossroads Real Estate, our first half sponsor. So the Mustangs are in the red zone, and just like closing in on the goal line, Bill Disberger at Crossroads Real Estate and Auction will help you cross the finish line on your next property deal. Trust experts, trust experience, trust results. Call Bill Disberger today.
And that quarter has just ended.
And that is the end of our first quarter. Man, so far, the game is built as advertised from Mark A. Chapman Activity Complex here in Clay Center, Kansas. It's your Rock Creek Mustang 7 and also Clay Center 7.
Price Physical Therapy, a new clinic located in Wamego. They specialize in orthopedic rehabilitation following total joint replacements, arthroscopy procedures for ACL, rotator cuff, meniscus, sports rehab, and injury prevention. They individualize care and treatments of athletes at every level and work with the athlete from initial injury until they return to play, including strength, endurance, agility, and coordination drills. Experience the difference with Price Physical Therapy. To schedule your appointment, visit pricephysicaltherapy.com.
Welcome back to the Mark A. Chapman Activity Complex, Clay Center, Kansas. Start at the second quarter, as we do have a tied ball game up in this huge NCKL contest. 7-7 as we're flipping the fields. Rock Creek's going to have the ball. First down from the Clay Center 20-yard line. Martini's going to be lined up to the left. As Smith's going to take a step back, he's going to throw it to Martini. Martini's going to rope the sideline. What a beautiful catch that was. My goodness.
Yeah, I really love the addition of Martini. Just at the beginning of the season, he was not on this roster. About 2 weeks later, he decided to join the roster, and ever since, Martini has been a big X factor as Tate has went his way almost 90% of his passes, and it's worked out. I think there's only been one incompletion thrown by Tate this permanent tee so far.
Absolutely. As Tate's going to hand the ball off to Zion Bell. Bell's going to take it up the middle off the left seam. And a touchdown for the Mustangs.
Great job there by the O-line, making a big gap. And do not forget Bell with the physicality, putting his hand on that helmet and driving through. Great job there by the Mustangs with that momentum after Clay Center scores that touchdown.
Now, that's the offense that we've been known to seeing from Rock Creek all season long. Some good pitch and catch between Tate Smith and Peter Martini, and then you give Zion Bell the ball. He's our bell cow, scores, big first down conversions, and right there, that was proof. That touchdown right up the left seam. Basically, the Clay Center defenders didn't want anything to do with that. We wouldn't want anything to do with that.
If we're being honest here, without that third down conversion done was to the first down, there would not be a touchdown here. So great job by Brody Clark making that catch to make it 4th down and 1.
Absolutely, and of course that touchdown brought to you tonight and all season long by our good friends at Faith Furniture. Touchdown Mustangs, Faith Furniture Manhattan. You've got to have faith. So far, so good for Rock Creek. 2 touchdowns out of the 3 offensive touches that they've had so far. A few penalty flags. They've had 5 penalties so far in this game. The game got started with the false starts. They had a couple off their punt, which kind of goes to the total. But then if they can just limit the flags that they have this quarter, they're going to be in pretty good position if they just keep on stopping the run.
Yeah, the difference between so far tonight with Gavin Rosen and Tate Smith, and I'm really loving how Tate Smith is playing. The passing attack has never been this explosive so far this season. So far, I'd say the run pass has pretty much been 50-50, but just the difference is the deep shots have been raised. I mean, pretty much all these passes tonight have been pretty much 20-plus yards out, so great job by the Mustangs being able to extend their play calling.
Of course, this second quarter is brought to you by Rockin' K's. Hungry for something legendary? Head to Rockin' K's right next to Bill Snyder Family Stadium in Manhattan. The proud second quarter sponsor of Rock Creek Mustang football. As we've got Jackson Pendle now to kick the ball off for Rock Creek. It's going to be a high end-over-end kick. It's going to be caught at the 15-yard line by Isaac Gurton. Gurton, he had a big run, a big return the last time he touched the ball. Is going to get back to the 28-yard line.
Ethan Lenzel with another kick return. Very elusive return as we saw last time he returned it. Got it all the way to the Mustang 40, actually it was about 35-yard line, but their Mustangs are ready for it. And we'll see how the Clay Center Tigers respond.
So it's been a pretty shifty offense for Clay Center. Drew Hoffman's decent quarterback. Isaac Gurton's a pretty quick running back as well. And then Ethan Leitzel, he had that touchdown for Clay Center. Relatively untouched, but he was coming through off the motion. As he goes back into motion again, it's either going to do the same play. This is the same play that they did off the touchdown, as we're going to give it to Leitzel off the right-hand side. That's going to be a huge tackle by Rock Creeks. Let's see, that was number 5. Let's go to the old Rooster, and that was Declan McKinney.
Yeah, he really shut off the edge. Almost got the tackle behind the line of scrimmage, but just the explosive by number 25 for the Tigers was able to get over the edge and really kind of fight for it. Good tackling there.
Yep, Isaac Gurton, the 5'11", 205-pound senior halfback. So they run a single halfback set with a couple different fullbacks and usually 1 or 2 slot receivers for Clay Center. As they're going to go under center, they're going to hand the ball off. It's going to get met at the line of scrimmage. We're actually going to be losing some yardage on this one, as we've got Grady Hastert in on the tackle, also followed by Wade Rottinghouse, and then our Will linebacker making some action as well, coming in, making a huge tackle. Number 52, that's Nick Allen, the 6', 195-pound senior.
If your Mustangs here is third down and long, it's an obvious passing down, so that's pretty much what you've been looking for so far tonight with Clay Center pounding the rock. So let's see how they do on third down and about 8.
11 minutes left here in the second quarter. Hoffman's going to throw the ball. There's going to be ball on the turf. It's going to be picked up by Rock Creek. Oh, no, it's not. If it's going to get knocked back out. He went to pick it up. It was at Rottinghouse. Rottinghouse went to go pick that ball up. It got knocked back out. It got hopped on by Clay Center. You know, there's you get really excited whenever you see the ball on the turf like that. That's why they say just jump on it, but that was such a bang-bang play. But the result for the Mustangs is we've got a 4th and super long now, so it puts Clay Center in a punt position and in pretty good position for their next offensive drive.
Yeah, with the one thing with the quarterback pitch to your running back, the biggest problem is if you don't hit it right, it's a fumble. And that pretty much is exactly what happened.
Absolutely. So to return the punt for Clay Center, we had Lawson Pennick and Luke Skinner deep back to receive. Pennick is going to just let the ball roll out of bounds, where Rock Creek is going to take over 1st down and 10 in the offensive on the Clay Center side of the field from the 48-yard line.
Tate Smith in this offense gets to come back on this field. So far, very explosive offense tonight. Honestly, I can also say exciting offense tonight. More passing than rushing, which I'm loving to see it.
Absolutely. So far, so good. That defense has been coming in pretty clutch. But the offense, that's been the real story of the game, as we've got trip receivers to the left. We're going to have Smith in the backfield and shotgun. He's going to hand the ball off to Bell. Bell's going to be off the right side. A little shifty. Going to get some yardage on that one. Going to get up to the 46-yard line. Clay Center saying the ball came out. The coaches are saying the ball came out, and the refs are going to confirm it. They're saying that was a fumble by Zion Bell. I didn't quite see the ball slipping out. No, it was kind of in the scrum.
Were you able to get a replay on that?
Of course, in high school, they don't have official replays, but they're going to go ahead and call that a fumble by Zion Bell, and they're going to call that 1st down and 10 for Clay Center.
Yeah, unfortunate there. The Bells really didn't have a good grip on that ball, and they were able to punch it out, so great job there by the Tigers.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got 1st down and 10 as Drew Hoffman is under center for Clay Center. He's going to keep the ball. He's going to roll out to the right. He's going to get met. Oh, he's going to get taken down.
By number 57.
Huge tackle by Corday Kirksey, the 5'11", 225-pound senior defensive end, getting on there, not letting anything around. So that was a huge play for Rock Creek. It's going to be a tackle for loss, a Faith Furniture tackle for loss. That's going to give us a 2nd down and 11 now for Clay Center.
One thing about this D line is they might be bulky, but they sure do have quickness everywhere, from the nose tackle all the way to the edge rusher. So great job there by Corday Kirksey being able to find the gap and bringing down the runner. Absolutely.
As Hoffman's under center, he's going to hand the ball off. They're going to fake the handoff. They're going to pitch it outside. Once again, they like doing that, pitching it outside to Ethan Leitzel, but there's going to be some flags on the play. We'll see what that call is.
May have a holding.
Yeah, there's when you have an offensive sets, they're calling a legal shift, actually. Yeah, it looked like they're calling the legal shift because it looked like that there's 2 receivers in motion at the same time. The second receiver wasn't set, and so they're going to call a 5-yard penalty on that. They're going to bring the ball back. So it's going to be 2nd down and 16 yards to go for this Clay Center offense.
For Clay Center, you do not want to stall it here. Forcing a fumble from Zion Bell is a rare occurrence, so you're going to really want to capitalize on this drive.
Hoffman under center. He's going to hand the ball off to Girton. Girton's not going to get too much action up the middle. Huge tackle by Rock Creek's number 12, Eric Tem. The junior coming through, making the statements, pushing the ball back even further. So we go for a loss of a yard. So that's going to bring up 3rd down and 17 now. As we look at our Farmer State Bank Chiron on the screen. 3rd down and 16 on the 39-yard line. Clay Center, these types of offenses are good for keeping the ball moving forward.
Definitely.
But when you need big yardage, it's kind of hard for them to hurry it up and get it.
Yeah, well, I don't think we've really seen a pass attempt here by Clay Center tonight, so it'll be interesting to see when we're going to see that.
As we see it right now, as Hoffman steps back, he throws, the ball's tipped. It's going to be picked up by Rock Creek. That's going to be picked off by Rock Creek. That is going to be intercepted by Owen Geyer. The defensive back, the junior, is going to be taking the ball. It was a huge hit. As we look at our instant replay right here, as you'd mentioned it, Hoffman hadn't quite thrown the ball yet. Hoffman's going to throw the ball. He's going to get hit by Corday Kirksey. Kirksey's going to be causing that tipped reflection, and it's going to be picked off by Owen Geyer. Geyer's going to take the ball out of bounds, where Rock Creek's going to get the ball in pretty good field position and also having some pretty good momentum. They're going to be taking over 1st down and 10 from the Clay Center 32-yard line.
If you're your D lineman coach for Rock Creek, you're always taught to tell your D line to keep your hands up on a pass play, and they did just that to bat the ball.
Absolutely. So we had trips to the left. It was a hike caught by Tate Smith. They're going to hand the ball off to Zion Bell. Bell's going to get a nice little gain out of it for what it was. Gain of 4, so it's going to bring up 2nd down and about 6 to go from the 28-yard line. So
yeah. Sorry, overdid you there. No. If you're Bell, this drive, you're really kind of, holding on that ball a little bit tighter than last time. Obviously, we did not see what really happened there, but unfortunate there, but good job there by Bell to get back his run.
Absolutely. Trips to the right. Smith is going to take the ball. He's going to roll to the right. He's going to find a wide open Zion Bell. Bell's going to take the ball. Man, look at that. Just plowing his way through. He's going to get within the 10-yard line, out of bounds. A huge gain on the play for Zion Bell. It's going to be a huge 1st down for Rock Creek, and they're going to be in pretty good position to punch the ball in right here. It's going to be 1st down and goal from the 8-yard line.
Yeah, one thing that's different. Also, one thing the Clay Center really probably wasn't ready for is Bell might be a running back, but he's also a really good receiving threat, as we just seen right there for about a 20-yard gain, and they give him the ball right up the middle.
Absolutely. So they give the ball up the middle. Going to get stopped. He's going to get a gain of a few on the play, not quite to the end zone. As it's going to bring up 2nd down and goal. They're going to be officially marking the ball. There's a lot of players around, so we can't quite see. But we do want to say that this red zone, Brock, is brought to you by Crossroads. Just like closing in on the goal line, Bill Disberger at Crossroads Real Estate and Auction will help you cross the finish line on your next property deal. Trust experience, trust results. Call Bill Disberger today. As we've got single receivers on each side, handing the ball off to Bell. Bell's going to take it up the middle, and that's going to be a Rock Creek Mustang touchdown, baby.
Yeah, great job there by the O-line. They're making another gap for Bell to slip in. If you're Clay Center here, you're pretty grateful that you get the ball in the second half, assuming the score will be 14 to possibly 21 going into halftime here. Already Mustangs up 21. assuming 21-7 here. Not really good for the Clay Center defense, but if you're coming out on offense here, they're going to have to find something more to take down this Rock Creek D-line.
Of course, that score is brought to you by Faith Furniture in Manhattan. You've got to have faith. You got to have Mustang touchdowns, and Faith Furniture and Rock Creek Mustang touchdowns go hand in hand like salt and pepper, baby.
Good comparison right there.
Without a doubt, as Pinnock adds the extra point. 21-7 is our score right now in this huge NCKL matchup from Mark A. Chapman Activity Complex here in Clay Center, Kansas. We do want to say that the second quarter is brought to you by Rockin' K's. Are you hungry for something legendary? Head to Rockin' K's right next to Bill Snyder Family Stadium in Manhattan. They're serving up crowd favorites like brisket nachos, Asian wraps, juicy burgers, and fresh, crave-worthy salads. Also, are you planning a party? Their event spaces are perfect for birthdays, holiday bashes, and corporate mixers. So whether you're tailgating or celebrating, Rockin' K's brings the flavor and the fun. Rockin' K's by the Bill. Find them online at eatingmhk.com. And of course, Scotty Seaman and the gang at Rockin' K's. Their sister stores is Eating MHK. You've got Kites Bar and Grill in the heart of Aggieville since 1954, so meet your friends at Kites. And also Mr. K's celebrating 15 years in 2025. Mr. K's Cafe and Bar on the west side, serving up unique flatbreads and home of the world-famous Cookie Bake. So Rockin' K's, our second quarter sponsor. Have you eaten at Rockin' K's lately?
I can't say I think I've been there. I'll be honest.
Oh, bro, dude, the birria tacos are the best. They're some of my favorite things in town, and then also they have the briskets. It's the Kansas brisket sandwich. It's a grilled cheese with brisket in it, and you dip it in barbecue sauce.
That actually sounds really good, actually.
Xander, you'd love it. I promise you would, my friends. As we've got Pinnock to kick off now for Rock Creek, up 2 scores. 7:05 left here in the second quarter. As deep to receive for Clay Center, it's going to be number 25, Isaac Girton. So far, some pretty good returns on the evening so far.
He kicks it to the back of the end zone.
As that was a pretty good kickoff. It's going to be a touchback. First down and 10 as Clay Center's offense is going to be taking over, down 2 scores.
Yeah, if you're Clay Center here, you're going to have to respond not just with the run, but with the pass. But so for the 2 passing plays that we've seen here by Clay Center, both of them has been destroyed by this D-line. The first one was a sack, which was kind of, honestly, I'm going to call it gruesome because the quarterback was destroyed. And the second time, Corday Kirksey with his arm up and just basically swatted the ball. So we'll see what they do here to hopefully score this drive.
Yeah, this defense has been just pickling this Clay Center offense, as we're going to be seeing Isaac Girton getting the handoff once again, just a few yards to the outside. This is one of those types of offenses to where it's just a single halfback sets, couple fullbacks out on the field. There's a lot of trickery with it, but the way that the defensive line for Rock Creek is set up, it's really tough for them to get too much penetration and too much yardage.
Yeah, if you're the Clay Center O-line's coach, you're going to want to expect more from this O-line. This defensive line for Rock Creek has been penetrating over and over again, and that's really what stopped this run.
Absolutely. As Hoffman's going to hand the ball off, Girton's going to get his way up the left seam. It's going to be a good gain, good enough to where it is going to be the result of a first down. They're going to officially call it. So another first down for Clay Center.
Yeah, great job there by Clay Center, just being able to open up a gap. Unfortunately for the D-line there, was actually kind of the blocking was good, and then having to have the middle linebackers come down and just pretty much bring down the running back. So great job there by the Clay Center's O-line.
Single receiver to the right. That is Caden Good, as Hoffman is under center. We have Isaac Girton in the backfield. We've got Leitzel in motion. They're going to pitch the ball to Leitzel. Leitzel, he has the score on the game. He's going to get shifted around, gaining some extra yardage. He's going to get up. It's going to be a huge tackle.
Do believe we have some laundry on the field, too.
By Ezra Spiller. Ezra Spiller is going to take the tackle for the Mustangs, as there is, like Xander had mentioned, there is a flag on the play. So we're going to see what this call is going to be. Looks like it might be in the territory of holding. But we've had a hodgepodge of all kinds of difference. Block in the back. Okay, not too far off. So that's going to be a block in the back on Clay Center. It's going to move the ball back.
Another thing that's really stopped Clay Center tonight with the momentum is penalties, as it did in the first quarter with Rock Creek, is now transformed over to Clay Center. If you're Clay Center, you're going to have to kind of stop those to be able to keep this momentum going.
Absolutely. Aiden Gordon, the single receiver to the right. We've got the hodgepodge of our different fullbacks lined up. Hoffman's going to fake the handoff to Girton. Going to give the ball to Jaron Brumfield, his first touch of the night. Going to get back to the original line of scrimmage, but not too much more. And that's going to bring up 3rd down and 10 now for Clay Center.
Yeah, with this quarterback pitch, it's really hard for the defender to really kind of pick and choose who he wants to go to. If the defender goes to the running back, the quarterback just takes up the middle. If the defender goes for the quarterback, he just pitches it to the running back. So really hard to defend unless you have 2 defenders right over there.
Absolutely, and that's why you need to keep 4 defensive linemen on the field, as Hoffman is going to hand the ball off this time to Gurton. Gurton's going to make his way, not quite enough for the first down.
And we have Laundry once again.
As we got another penalty flag on the field. We've had a handful of them so far.
That'll be the center judge that threw that one.
As we'll get a holding call this time. Drive killer now for Clay Center. So that's going to be a holding penalty. It's going to back them up 10 yards. They will replay 2nd down. But it's going to be 2nd down and 20 now for Clay Center.
If you're Rock Creek here, you're really loving these penalties, assuming that you stop them here on 2nd down and about 20. That'll put them in passing down, and so far, every time they've passed the ball, nothing good has come from it. So if you're Rock Creek here, you're really loving it.
Well, Clay Center hasn't really, this offense isn't equipped to pass a whole lot, and they've only really thrown the ball just one time, and really, there was the almost interception, then there was the interception.
Yeah.
As we have Hoffman now back under center. He's going to hand the ball off to Gurton. No, he's going to fake the handoff to Gurton. Going to pitch the ball outside to Brumfield. Brumfield's going to get a little bit of space. He's going to get enough room for the first down.
Yeah, with this quarterback pitch, it's really hard to read because all the D linemen kind of went straight in for the running back right up the middle, but the quarterback pulled it and went out to the side and was able to get a nice 21-yard gain.
Big tackle by Eric Tim to get the ball out of bounds. Now Clay Center moving the ball now. Big first down. It's going to be 1st down and 10 from their own 46-yard line as Hoffman's back under center. We've got Leitzel in motion. He's going to fake it. He's going to go back to the line of scrimmage. Hoffman's going to stand back out. They're all going to look to the Clay Center sideline to see what's going down. Leitzel's going to be back in motion. They're going to hand the ball off straight up the middle to Isaac Gurton. Gurton's going to be met in the middle. It's going to be a huge tackle brought down by Carson Taburin for Rock Creek. Also joined alongside by Nick Allen, the will linebacker, getting in there and get some action as well. Original line of scrimmage brings up 2nd down and 10 for Clay Center.
Yeah, Rock Creek is not fooled by that running back right up the middle. If you're with Clay Center, you got to start being more, diverse. It's really been kind of tough for them right up the middle, but every time they've really not gone up the middle, Rock Creek really isn't ready for it. So really love to see Clay Center kind of switch it up.
Aiden Gordon, the single receiver to the left. They're going to fake the handoff to Gurton up the middle. They're going to give the ball to Jaron Brumfield. Brumfield got the big first down the last time he touched the ball. Huge gain. Is going to get a gain of about 8 yards, get into Rock Creek territory, but still going to be a couple yards shy of the first down. So that's going to bring up 3rd down and 2 now for Clay Center.
Yeah, like I said, them running up the middle really hasn't worked. And next play, they proceed to get 9 yards. So great job there by Clay Center.
Absolutely. As we've got Leitzel in motion once again. They are going to pitch the ball to Leitzel. Oh, no, that's Brumfield. Excuse me. Brumfield's going to get it to the outside. It's going to be a huge tackle brought down by number 5. That's going to be Declan McKinney on the tackle. Just enough of a play to get the first down as the ball keeps on moving, as this drive keeps on getting extended for Clay Center.
Would say this clock was ticking, but that long 21-yard gain really just kind of stopped the clock there. But if you're Rock Creek here, you got to come up big.
As Drew Hoffman back under center. Got Brumfield in motion. They're going to hand the ball off straight up the middle to Isaac Gurton, the 5'11", 205-pound senior halfback. Going to get a gain of about 2 yards on the play. That clock is going to continue to run. As time's ticking, gaining a couple yards, the drive keeps getting extended, and the offense for Clay Center, more importantly for those guys, is staying out on the field.
Yeah, Isaac Gurton, even with 3 guys basically pulling him back, his leg strength, being able to just keep him going is really impressive for the Clay Center drive to keep being efficient.
As they give the ball once again to Gurton. Gurton's going to get a couple of yards just off the left tackle. Wade Rottinghouse has had a few tackles the last drives. We had Ezra Spiller right here. We also had Caden Payton making the stops for Rock Creek, which is going to bring up a pretty important 3rd down, and looks like 3rd down and 8 yards to go.
Last time Rock
3rd down
Creek,
and 6.
or did you again? My bad. Last time Rock Creek held Clay Center to 3rd down and 21, they got it, and looks like they will do it once again.
as Hoffman's going to fake the handoff, keep the ball. He's going to get the first down. He's going to get up a little bit further. This time another first down for Clay Center, so their third first down on this drive as the clock is going to continue to run. As it's a first down and 10 for Clay Center from the Rock Creek 29-yard line. Big tackle in there from Declan McKinney. As Hoffman's under center, he's going to fake the handoff to Girton. Going to give the pitch outside to Ethan Leitzel. Leitzel's going to get a gain of a couple yards on the play. Get down to about the 25.5, 26-yard line where it's going to be a second down for Clay Center.
If you're Clay Center here, you're doing a great job. If you're Rock Creek, I might think about calling a timeout here. This different type of offense attacking the D-line has just really been disruptive, as you don't know if they're going up the middle or you don't know if they're going to pitch it. You don't know if the quarterback's going to take off. It's really kind of hard for Rock Creek, so I would not be shocked to see a timeout call here pretty soon.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to see Girton get the ball yet once again. This one not quite getting to the first down sticks. It's going to be third down and 1 to go. As Hoffman's going to keep the ball. He's going to go straight up the middle. Ooh, man, we have Declan McKinney coming through to try to say no, and that one's going to be really close to the sticks. I don't think he got that. I
believe so. We'll have a timeout here by Clay Center.
As they're going to call a timeout. Yeah, he did not get that. It's going to be fourth and not quite a yard, so a very important fourth down conversion right here. And honestly, for Clay Center, a lot of ways, they have to get this first down conversion.
Yeah, to keep this drive sustainable, a first down will be really needed.
Absolutely. And so, of course, we've got the halftime coming up here in just a few minutes. We're also going to be having the shortstop bandits brain teaser of the game. So this is a fun trivia question. If you know the answer, Xander, don't say it out loud. But
to be honest, I don't think I do.
Clay Center is the hometown of which notable football coach who later became the head coach at the University of Minnesota?
Oh, I do know this actually.
Ooh, yeah. So the shortstop bandit brain teaser brought to you, of course, by Shortstop. No matter where you're going or how long it takes to get there, you'll always have time for a shortstop.
It's insane how diverse Candace actually has been. I never thought, there'd be very many notable names in the Candace area, and you have, now a Minnesota person being, from Clay Center, or the president from Abilene.
Absolutely. And we'll have the answer coming up here in a few minutes, but until then, a huge fourth down and 1, a pivotal moment in this ball game. 52.5 seconds left here in the second quarter. Fourth down and 1. Hoffman is under center. He's going to fake the hair. He's going to give the handoff to Girton straight up the middle. Girton looks like he might have enough for the first down.
Do not believe he got it.
No, he didn't. He did not get it. He didn't get it. He got stuffed, baby.
So great job there by the D lineman, just colliding in and stopping him. And I do believe we'll have Clay Center going for a field goal. If you're Rock Creek here, you're really going to be ready for a possible fake.
No, my friend.
It was a fourth down.
That was a turnover on downs. Yeah, so Rock Creek held him. That was a turnover on downs. So Rock Creek is going to take over first down and 10. Huge defensive stop for the Mustangs as they'll take over first down and 10. 47 seconds left here in the first half. As we're going to have Tate Smith from shotgun take the ball. He's going to roll out to his right. He's going to find a huge catch. He's going to find a wide open number 22. That is Luke Smith. Catching the ball, getting out of bounds, stopping the clock. Gain of 8 yards on the play now for Rock Creek is, again, huge change of momentum. That was a long drive for Clay Center's offense. They get stopped at fourth down and 1 for the turnover on downs. And Rock Creek still has time to score before the end of the first half.
Yeah, I really like how he got out of bounds. They're really able to stay with timeout, and now Bell runs it up the middle for the first down. So great job.
Huge play by Zion Bell getting the first down, stopping the clock. As there's 2 timeouts remaining for Rock Creek, 2 timeouts remaining as well for Clay Center. As we're in the hurry-up offense, trips to the left, no receivers to the right. We've got Smith in the backfield. He's going to fake the handoff to Bell. He's going to look. He's going to throw the ball deep. He's got a wide-open guy on just out past the outstretched hands of Carson Taburin. Not quite a pitch and catch. It was a pretty good look. but that's going to bring up 2nd down and 10 now with 22 seconds left in the first half.
Kind of tripped over himself there. If Experian really kind of tripped over himself, that possibly could have been a touchdown or just a really big gain there. But just a little unfortunate, but just great job there for Tate Smith, kind of looking for his options.
2 receivers to the right, 2 receivers to the left. Smith is by himself in the backfield. He's going to take a deep snap, look to his offensive coordinator, look back to the offensive line of scrimmage. Going to take the ball. He's going to drop back. He's going to look to his left. He's going to roll out. Has some pressure. He's going to throw the ball to the right side. That's going to be caught. That's a big catch by Ethan Tonzer. Had some big catches in the opening drive of the game. Most importantly, not only is he going to get the catch, he's also going to get the first down, and he's going to get out of bounds, saving some time. So 14 seconds left, not quite to midfield, but Rock Creek still has some time left here to maybe potentially put some points on the board.
Yeah, great job there by Tate Smith. Like, there's pressure in his face, stepped up in the pocket, moved around a little bit, and found someone wide open, be able to get the first down, a couple extra yards, and get out of bounds. So great job there by Tate, evading the area and finding someone wide open.
49-yard line. Looks like we had a penalty on the play.
I think we might have had a personal foul on Clay's center.
Yeah, I didn't quite see. There wasn't a big announcement over the speakers, but yeah, absolutely. The ball's moved up now to the 36-yard line. There was no flag. They made no indication, so we were kind of confused on that. Our apologies. But first down and ticks from the 36-yard line, and Smith is going to be in shotgun. He's going to look straight up the middle. He's going to throw. He's going to be firing. It's going to be a big catch by Luke Smith. Luke Smith is going to catch the ball. That's going to be a huge first down for Rock Creek. Most importantly, that's going to be moving the ball to the 17-yard line.
Timeout there by Rock Creek.
As Rock Creek is going to call a timeout, the official did come on to the speaker. His speaker is breaking up. We couldn't quite hear what he had to say on that. But a huge pass over the middle from Tate Smith to Luke Smith to the 17-yard line. It's going to bring up a first down and 10 for Rock Creek. Almost 7 seconds left on the clock. So they have They have a good chance to take a shot to the end zone because there is one timeout remaining for Rock Creek. Otherwise, you know what? We're within field goal range. They might just have to settle for a Jackson Pendle field goal if they can't quite punch the ball in on a touchdown.
Yeah, if I'm going for a deep shot here, my number one guy for Tate Smith is I'm looking for Peter Martini. Dude's 6'1". So far, every pass tonight Tate Smith has been thrown with confidence and precision. Like just the last pass, he threw it in between middle linebacker and a cornerback and fit right into the breadbasket to Luke Smith, I believe he said. So I would not be shocked to see a shot, and we are going to see that. And we have, I believe that is Carson DeBeering on the outside.
Yeah, Tate Smith, man, first half playing really well. He's been having some pretty good passes and been doing a really good job here. And so let's see what the sophomore's made of. We're going to be having 3 receivers to the left. We're going to be having Peter Martini alone by himself on the right. He's the lone receiver to the right. We're also going to be having Zion Bell lined up off the line of scrimmage just to the left side where the tight ends normally line up. So we have 4 receivers as Smith is going to take a step back. He's going to look up the middle. He's going to put the ball down. He's going to go down. They got to call a timeout, and they will. Tate Smith didn't work out how he wanted to. Smart enough to pull the ball in, but Clay Center was right there, brought him to the ground. And so with less than 1 second left in the first half, Rock Creek is going to call the timeout with their final remaining timeouts. And we'll see what happens here. We got Jackson Pendle out on the field, so it looks like they might be trying for the field goal right here.
A little unfortunate there by the sack, but if you're a quarterback coach, you're kind of impressed by Tate Smith, the sophomore, just kind of stepping up in the pocket. If he didn't, he was going to get a sack for a 5-yard loss. So even just a 1-yard loss is way better than a 5-yard loss, and anything that just really kind of helps Jackson Pendle.
Absolutely, and what's most important right here, of course, is just putting a few extra points on the board right before halftime. And so the ball's at the 20-yard line for 7 yards for the kick. It's going to put him at the 27, so it's going to be a 37-yard field goal attempt for Jackson Pendle right here. Jackson Pendle is the junior wide receiver D-back. He's been also doing really good so far kicking in this game. 1 second left, 0.8 of a second actually, if you want to be exact. Rock Creek does have the lead, 21-7, as we're looking at the final second of the first half from this huge matchup in the NCKL here in Clay Center, Kansas, as the 3-1 Clay Center Tigers are up against your 4-0 Rock Creek Mustangs. As Pendle is going to be lining up. Let's see what happens right here. As we have the snap, the ball's down, kick is up. Ooh, plenty of leg on that, and right down I-70.
I say,
that, baby?
From our side, it obviously looks a lot different. I almost thought he missed, but just great job there by Pendle. I do believe that is tied for his season long, or maybe farther than his season long. But great job there by Pendle getting up between.
Yeah, so we're facing north to south in Clay Center, so that's straight down K-15 is what that was. Right down the middle, huge kickoff, a big field goal for Jackson Pendle, so that does bring your halftime score. 24-7 as Rock Creek is going to be having the lead. Of course, that score is brought to you by Faith Furniture. And when you want some furniture, you got to have Faith. Faith Furniture in Manhattan, one of our big sponsors of Rock Creek football. Of course, Backroads Broadcasting bringing the action home to you, powered by Rampage Academy. We got halftime now. Mustangs up 24-7. We'll be back in a few minutes. This is Rock Creek football on Backroads Broadcasting. Welcome back to Clay Center, Kansas. Welcome back to the Mark A. Chapman Activity Center. I'm Tyler Jackson with my man Xander Dick, hanging out, having a good game so far. My friend, one half of football, it's been all Mustangs, baby.
Oh, yeah. With the end of the half, Mustangs able to drive down the field with, believe we're just going to call it personal foul that really pretty much put them in field goal position, and then Jackson Pendle putting it through.
It was pretty strange. They never did. Did you see a flag on?
No, I never see a flag. I don't even know what happened. I just know there was a big, long break, and then they come back, and the ball's now at the Clay Center 30-yard line, and we're like, well, what happened?
So, yeah, I mean, that's one of those things. But, dude, so far, so good. Tate Smith has been playing very good as the quarterback.
Very electric. Compared to Gavin Rosa, no shots at Gavin Rosa. I believe he's a very talented quarterback. But today, the passing offense has exploded. I've never seen this much passing by Rock Creek so far this season. So, great job by Tate Smith, the sophomore, stepping up and making Rock Creek have a 24-7 lead going into the third quarter.
Of course, Peter Martini having that huge touchdown catch to start the scoring off for Rock Creek. And then Zion Bell, man, story of the season, story of the game so far for Rock Creek.
If you're Clay Center here, you got to keep doing what you're doing. It's been working. If you're Rock Creek here, excited to see what they did during halftime. But we'll see what happens.
Absolutely. So Clay Center did win the kickoff, or the coin toss. They did defer to the second half. They did allow Rock Creek to receive the ball first. So I believe Clay Center will most likely receive the ball first to start the second half. If you're on the defensive side of the ball for the Mustangs, man, again, same thing as the offense. So far, so good, right?
Yeah, Rock Creek was doing their job. It was just the unfortunate when you're playing Clay Center so far, you're playing like three different types of offense. As you're playing either quarterback draw, a quarterback pitch, or you're running it right up the middle. So it's one of the three, and if you guess right, well, ding, 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 you're lucky. If you guess wrong, it punishes you very well. So we'll see what Coach Steven has told their defense to hopefully stop that.
As we get ready for the second half, we did start off the end of the first half by teasing you with the shortstop bandit brain teaser of the game. Of course, the trivia question was, Clay Center is the hometown of which notable football coach who later became the head coach at the University of Minnesota? Xander, do you know the answer to this question?
I do know what he looks like, but I just do not know the name. Like, if I seen the picture, I'd be like, oh, yeah.
So the correct answer is Tracy Clays. Tracy Clays grew up in Clay Center and graduated from Clay Center Community High School. He went on to play college football at K-State before beginning a long coaching career. Clays is best known for his time at the University of Minnesota, where he first served as the defensive coordinator and later became head coach from 2015 to 2016. Under his leadership, the Gophers earned a 9-4 record. In 2016, capped off by a Holiday Bowl victory over Washington State. So thank you so much to shortstop. No matter where you're going or how long it takes to get there, you always have time for a shortstop. As we're ready now for the second half kickoff for Rock Creek.
Jackson Pendle ready to kick it off. I'm really excited, actually. I'm really excited to see how this Rock Creek defense is going to respond to this Clay Center offense. I'm really excited to see how Clay Center is going to respond to Rock Creek's adjustments. So, obviously, time will tell.
Jackson Pendle kicking a bomb out of bounds. Jackson Pendle kicking that nice little 37-yard field goal to end the first half as we start off the second half here in Clay Center with Rock Creek up 24-7.
Indeed. So if you're Clay Center coming out here, I'd like to see a pass. We have not seen a single completion tonight here by Clay Center, so we're going to have to see them do a passing attack here, possibly.
So, again, an interesting offensive set for Clay Center as we have Drew Hoffman once again under center. Ethan Leitzel in motion. They're going to be calling a flag on the play, clapping from the offensive line for Clay Center. And, of course, that is going to be an encroachment, so an offside penalty on the Mustangs. So another penalty. So we had a penalty, which was a false start to start the first half. Now we have a penalty, which is an offsides to start the second half.
Yeah, really unfortunate there by Rock Creek, but very beneficial for the Clay Center Tigers.
Drew Hoffman under center now, 1st down and 5 for the Tigers as Leitzel goes into motion. He's going to come back and resets. They do run a 2 fullback set with Isaac Gurton in the backfield, the single halfback. Now he's going to be getting down to the stance as Hoffman is going to be getting under center. This time we're going to be having Noah Gibson in motion. They're going to hand the ball straight off the middle to Isaac Gurton. Gurton's going to get pretty close, and they are going to be signaling that is going to be a 1st down and 10 for Clay Center.
if you're the edge rusher for Rock Creek, you have a big responsibility. You either got to attack the middle with your defensive line, or you're going to have to pick and choose where you go to, either go towards the middle or obviously either pray the quarterback has it. It's where you pick or choose there for the edge rusher.
A lot of trickery now on this Clay Center offense. Smith, every pass so far every play so far has been from under center. A lot of motion, a lot of trickery handoffs as he's going to check his wristbands, find the audible, get back under center. He's going to look around. We're going to be having Gibson go in motion. They're going to pitch the ball to Gibson. Gibson's going to get the outside, get pretty close to be taken down by Corday Kirksey. Going to get to the original line of scrimmage for no gain on that play.
Yeah, they picked the play right there. Just Corday Kirksey shooting through the gap, making first contact with him. Then the rest of the D-line comes in to stop the play. So great job there picking the right play. I take this as a game now. Clay Center's like, oh, who are you going to go to? And Rock Creek's kind of have to be like, B. And, it's either correct or not.
As we got two receivers lined up on the outside now, one to the left, one to the right. Two fullbacks, another one in motion. They're going to hand the ball off to Girton. Hoffman wanted to fake the handoff, but it was already too late by the time he faked that. Girton's not going to get much of a gain on that, none at all, actually, so it's going to bring up 3rd down and 9 to go.
It almost looked like he wanted to pull it right there. I don't know if you noticed his arm kind of like trying to grip the ball and pull it out, but the running back just said, nah, just let me keep it, and unfortunate the Mustangs were able to rally.
Well, as confusing as this offense is for defenses, sometimes I'm sure it's probably pretty confusing for being on the offense as well.
The running back also has a very big role, too. It's either, the quarterback sees everything, so if that quarterback wants to pull it, you got to be able to ready to kind of let go of it.
Absolutely. As Hoffman's going to go into shotgun. He's going to look. He's going to throw it to the left. It's going to be a pass attempt for Noah Gibson, but that's going to be great defense. Brought down and slapped out of the way by Caden Payton, the senior linebacker for Rock Creek, and that's going to force a 4th down to go for Clay Center.
Believe it or not, that's their first actual pass they're able to get off tonight. So if you're Rock Creek there, for your actual first passing defense, great job by Caden Payton, be able to get that hand in there and swat it and not tugging on that jersey. Refs will really call that.
Without a doubt, especially those cross routes just like that. It's really easy to grab some jersey. As Luke Skinner is set to receive the ball for Rock Creek. Pretty decent punt. Skinner's able to take it. He's going to muff the ball. He's going to pick the ball back up. He's not going to get any gain on the play. But more importantly, Rock Creek is going to get the ball 1st down and 10 from the 40-yard line and have some really good field position for the first time they touch the ball here in the second half.
Tate Smith in this offense, some big things we've learned in this first half. Very versatile. We didn't really see that with Gavin Rosa. With Tate Smith, loving what's going on, loving how starting what's happening in the pocket and be able to step up and find someone. If you're in the second half, you want to keep this lead, I'm looking for the man, the myth, the legend, Peter Martini.
Peter Martini, man, he had that streak catch from the first touchdown of the game. A great baseball player, too, by the way.
We have a dual. Oh, I was actually informed about this. Gavin Rosa is in the game. In the 2021, when he first came in, he started at wide receiver, converted to quarterback.
And Smith's going to fake the pass to Rosa. He's going to look downfield. He's going to have a wide open Luke Skinner. Skinner's going to make a huge catch. We're going to be looking at a gain of 25 and a big 1st down, getting into Clay Center territory for the Mustangs.
Great job there by, I believe, like you said, Luke Skinner was able to get right above the route and just be able to sit down. Most young wide receivers, they kind of move around there, but he just kind of sat down there right between the safety and the cornerback and was able to make the catch. Great job there.
Trips to the left, single receiver in the background, single running back in the background, and that's Zion Bell. Bell's going to get the ball from the shotgun motion. He's going to lose a 1.5 yards on that play. So Clay Center, after the first quarter, has responded really well to Zion Bell and running the ball.
Yeah, with Tate Smith really passing the ball tonight, they really went away from what they're known as their bread and butter, which is running the ball, and then having to go back to running the ball really just kind of feels weird. I mean, when you go from, running the ball to now passing the ball a lot, transitioning back is kind of a little bit difficult.
Trips to the right. Martini, the lone receiver to the left. Smith is going to be in shotgun. He's going to take the snap. He's going to look back. He's going to look to his left. He's going to throw the ball right over the middle. It's going to be a little bit behind Luke Skinner. Great defense, actually, by Isaac Girton for Clay Center. It's going to bring up 3rd down and about 12.5, almost 13 to go now for the Mustangs.
Unfortunate there that Tate Smith kind of missed out on number 22, Luke Smith. He was pretty much kind of wide open, but I don't blame him for wanting to hit number 1. Luke Skinner. You know, Luke Skinner was Gavin Rose's #1 target, and I would not blame him for wanting to go back to your trusty wide receiver.
Trips to the right, including Bell. Smith's going to take the ball from shotgun. He's going to roll to the right. He's going to look upfield. He's going to get a big first down right here. That was a great catch. Huge catch by Brody Clark, the 6'1", 165-pound junior, coming across the middle, making a big catch and another first down for Rock Creek.
I don't know if this is intentional, but I'm pretty sure you're noticing what I'm noticing. But these passes are like almost specifically placed in such a really good spot. Like that first down there, he places the ball almost like low to the ground, so the wide receiver basically has to get low, and the defender's a hard time to get it.
Absolutely, as we had two singles to two receivers each side. Ball's going to be handed off to Zion Bell. Bell's going to get a gain of about 3 yards, and that is going to bring up 2nd down and 10 to go.
Yeah, great job there, great run there, about a yard on that play. Yeah, Bell really has not really been a lot of work tonight. When Tate Smith has really taken the reins tonight, it's been more of a passing attack, and Bell really hasn't been the workhorse Clay Center was assuming was going to happen tonight.
A little bit high of a snap. I think they're going to call a false start on Peter Martini on that play. And I think that's what the call is going to be.
It is indeed. Yeah, as we said in the first half, penalties are really drive killers, which happened to Clay Center with 7 minutes remaining, and what caused them Rock Creek to get the field goal. So if you're Rock Creek here, penalties are really your biggest enemy.
You know, when you historically look at NCKLF football, there's not a whole lot of, it's like the old-fashioned Big 8 football, right? You don't look and see a lot of different penalty calls, but there's been quite a few flags on both sides of the ball tonight, as it's going to be 2nd down and 13 to go for Rock Creek. Smith's going to take a high snap, hand it off to Bell. Bell's going to take it straight up the middle, up to the left seam. He's going to get a gain of right about 5, almost 6 yards on that play. Going to cut the margin in half from what it was, but it's going to be 3rd down, and looks like 4.5 to go for Rock Creek.
I'd really love to see Tate Smith go back to Peter Martini. Peter Martini on this outside here is matched up with a really short cornerback, and he's playing more towards the outside. But also great job there by the cornerback, because now they have safety help, as we have not seen that most of the game until they really kind of picked up that Rock Creek's going towards more passing attack.
That's probably one of the big adjustments that Clay Center had to make in the locker room for halftime, was getting some safety help as the high snap comes up. Smith does a great job of holding on to the ball, gives the ball to Bell. Bell's going to get up to the left seam, man. He's going to get past the 15-yard line to the 14, and that's going to be a 1st down and 10 for the Mustangs.
Great job there by Bell, just knowing where the sticks are and being able to get there. So far with the night, when Clay Center's, expecting to pass, Rock Creek's like, haha, we're going to go back to the run. And so now Clay Center's going to have to really adjust that. It would not be shocked to see the safeties be pulled down once again.
Absolutely. As we got Ezra Spiller into the game now, he's going to be the fullback. Peter Martinez going to be to the left. Going to be going into the side as Bell goes from right to left on Smith as he's in the backfield. Martinez going to be in motion. Smith's going to look. He's going to be bum rushed. He's going to get taken down, and they're going to call a penalty on this.
I believe we'll have a face mask. Many of you guys may not think it was a face mask, but I do believe the defender was grabbing on the back end of Tate Smith's helmet, so that is pretty much considered a face mask. Almost was a penalty on Rock Creek there. Ezra Spiller was not in formation. The far right side tight end was basically yelling, Spiller, get down, get in position, and luckily they got it in time.
As we look at the replay, a high snap. We had Isaac Gurton, one of the better players overall for Clay Center, getting there pretty fast, but like you said, just grabbed the helmet wrong. And then high school football,
it's a safety hazard.
It is a safety hazard, and it's also a big penalty, and quite the lucky break now for Rock Creek, as it brings up 1st down and goal to go from the 7-yard line.
So far this drive has been really ground and pound.
As they give the ball to Zion Bell, Bell's going to go up, get pretty close. We've got the side judges coming in. Looks like they're going to mark it about a half a yard shy of the end zone.
I almost thought he almost lunged in for it, but obviously we can only see so much. But great job there by the refs, making sure, where the ball placement is. And great job by Bell just fighting.
Absolutely. Well, it just extends the red zone. Flint Hills ISR, teaching kids how to swim, is your sponsor for this red zone play. As we've got two fullbacks in the play. Smith's going to hand the ball off to Bell. Ooh, Bell's going to drop the ball. I think that might have been a fumble right at the goal line, and it is.
Unfortunate there. Beneficial for Rock Creek defense. It is at the 1 yard line, but just really unfortunate there at the goal line, fumbling the ball.
As we look at the replay, Smith gets hit, handing the ball off. Didn't quite complete it to Bell. Bell had to turn back around as the ball was rolling on the 1 yard line. And Clay Center is going to take over 1st down and 10 from their own 1 yard line. Let's see how the Rock Creek defensive line responds right here.
If you're Clay Center, you got to be very careful what you do here. I would not be shocked to see them run the ball up the middle. That's the safest thing you could do here. That pitch play, very dangerous because you never know. The ball might be a little bit overthrown or heaved, I should call it.
Absolutely. As they give the ball to Isaac Gurton, Gurton's going to come straight up the middle. He's going to get some safety yards, get out about 4 yards, get to the 5 yard line. Helps clear some breathing room for Clay Center. As that was they just gave it to the most reliable back on the whole entire evening. That's Isaac Gurton for Clay Center.
Yeah, great job there by the running back there, just making some breathing room. It was a little dangerous at the 1 yard line, but great job there.
And a big tackle by Nick Allen coming through, our Wilt linebacker. As Hoffman's under center, he's going to be looking towards the sideline, check the call. They check their wristbands. Looks like they're going to be making an audible play. He's going to look back at Gurton, get back under center. We're going to have Leitzel in motion. Hoffman's going to keep the ball himself. He's going to get a couple yards. Corday Kirksey for Rock Creek is right there to make a huge tackle. Not much happening on that play as it's going to bring up a 3rd down for the Tigers.
Yeah, clock is ticking, and Clay Center's really got to come up with a drive here. Honestly, the quarterback kind of hesitated right there. He kind of had a little gap to take off and just kind of really didn't use that time.
This the third quarter, of course, is brought to you by Sunflower Consulting and Bookkeeping, your official sponsor of the third quarter of Rock Creek football. As it's going to be 3rd down and 4 to go. Hoffman's going to be under center. He's going to fake the snap. He's going to throw it right off the goal line. A real dangerous play. Rock Creek had 2 Rock Creek defenders in his face. He's going to throw the ball intended for Noah Gibson. It's going to be an incomplete play and bring up a 4th down for the Tigers.
Yeah, like I said earlier, as an edge rusher, you have multiple jobs. And right there, I love how Declan McKinney played it well. He went out with the kick out. I believe it was a tight end. But great job there, and just a little unfortunate there was not able to complete that pass.
Absolutely. Real dangerous pass play from Smith.
Dangerous. He almost was struck down there.
Yes, he was. But that's going to bring up 4th down. Clay Center's out in punt formation. Unlucky break for Rock Creek to fumble the ball on the 1 yard line, but a big defensive stand as the ball is in the air. Didn't have anybody back to receive that. They're just going to let that ball roll. Good news for Rock Creek is it's going to be touchdown dead at the Clay Center 42-yard line. And that's where Rock Creek will take over 1st down and 10.
Tate Smith in this offense gets to come back onto this field. So far tonight, been very exciting to watch. As a Rock Creek fan and also a Rock Creek student, I have not seen much more than just the ball on the ground and pound. But tonight it's been the air attack and very exciting to watch. So we'll see how they respond on this drive after fumbling.
Absolutely. Tate Smith's having a great start tonight. The 6 foot, 170-pound sophomore. We did see Gavin Rosa in the game, but it was a controversial decision, and thank you guys for keeping the comments clean. Remember, these are high school kids, but Tate Smith so far having a great game tonight as we have Peter Martini, the receiver, to the left. Smith in shotgun is going to look to the left. He's going to look towards Martini. Martini's going to come up, sliding catch, make a big catch. It's going to be a gain of 8 yards and bring up 2nd down and 2 now for the Mustangs.
Great throw there, but one thing I really love to see take it a little bit better at is we got to get these passes a little bit higher. With these passes a little bit low, it really decreases the amount of extra yards that these wide receivers could be getting. But overall, can't complain. Completing these passes, gaining yards.
You've been saying it for the last several minutes of this half. Just get the ball. You got to get the ball to Peter Martini. He's been catching the ball pretty well so far.
And he just targeted him last there.
As we have trips to the left, another high snap as Smith's going to give the ball off to Zion Bell. Bell's going to get the 1st down to the 29-yard line. A huge gain of 5 yards for the Mustangs, and that is going to be a big 1st down. As we do have a limper, we have Corday Kirksey getting up. He's getting up limping just a little bit. Our left tackle, also our defensive end, limping, but you know what? He's back in the huddle, and he's looking to the sideline.
Yeah, definitely. Great job there. Just being able to get off that field, with his own power and being able to, still stay healthy.
4 receivers to the right, Martini to the left. We're going to put Zion Bell back in the backfield as Tate Smith is in the shotgun. He's going to hand the ball off to Bell. Bell is going to get a couple of yards. get met at the original line of scrimmage, skirt off, and get a couple more on that play. That is going to be a third down now for, it's going to be a second down, my apologies, for Rock Creek as they are marching the ball down the field here.
I would not be shocked for the fans to see here that Rock Creek goes more to a ground and pound just because of the fact that they're really sucking the clock out. As I stated earlier in the notes earlier, for Clay Center, the goal was to chew the clock out, and instead Rock Creek's doing that.
Absolutely. As we've got Smith rolling out to the right, he's going to be throwing the ball, trying to catch Brody Clark. Brody Clark was actually pretty wide open. The pass was just a little bit high. It's going to fall incomplete and bring up a third down and 9 now for the Mustangs.
Yeah, unfortunate there. Tonight, Brody Clark has been like, I don't know what to call him, more of like, I'm calling him the superhero of the night. He's been the guy who that Tate Smith went to like when they needed the yards, but just a little unfortunate there that the ball is a little bit overthrown.
Yeah, it was Tate's passes for the most part have been pretty good. Here in the third quarter, they haven't been quite as crisp as they were in the first half, but we're still moving the ball down as we got trips to the right. Martini, the lone receiver, to the left. Smith going to grab the ball from the shotgun, roll out to the right from the right hash mark. Going to have some danger. He's going to throw the ball up. Big catch from Brody Clark out of bounds. That's going to be a Mustangs first down. Let's go.
Dude, I was just about to say that, but you said it for me. I was like, who do you think it is? Brody Clark, the man, the myth, the legend. Dude, this guy has been the guy for Tate Smith. No matter it's third down long, second down long. Goes to him. Replay shows, look at him, cut right back inside. Tate Smith takes his time, strike down to Brody Clark, and guess what he does? The toe tap swag. Love it.
Dude, you're great, Xander. You're the man. As we also had big pressure from Isaac Gurton from Clay Center right there in Smith's face. As we got three receivers to the left, going to pump fake real quick, see what happens over on the sidelines. They're going to reset. Smith from shotgun is going to look, take the ball. He's going to hand the ball off to Luke Smith. Luke Smith is going to get a gain of about 10 yards, a minor little tush push. He's going to get that extra yardage. Going to get the first down, though, for the Mustangs.
He was still fighting right there. I mean, he had two guys basically pushing on him. Dude, with that leg drive, really good there.
Keeping the ball rolling. 2 minutes now left in the third quarter, 24-7. The Mustangs have a lead over the Tigers. As so far, this has been a pretty good drive for the Mustangs. Their first drive of the second half resulted in fumbling the ball at the 1 yard line as they're back in the goal line. First down and goal from the 5. Smith's going to take the ball, hand the ball off to Bell. Bell's going to go to the right side, straight up the middle, and that's going to be a Mustangs touchdown.
Great job there by, like I said earlier, Bell making up for that lost fumble. Just reaching over to the end zone, getting that ball right over the goal line and pulling it right back in. Great job by Bell, and also great job by the O-line.
Man, that offensive line, much like the defensive line, and honestly, it's a lot of the same players. You've got your Wade Rottinghouses, you've got your Corday Kirksey, you've got Ryan Wickman, Cody Hastertz, Nick Allen, our Mike linebacker, man, or Will linebacker, forgive me, pushing forward on that offensive line in combination with great running backs has made it to where the score is almost 31-7.
Yeah, tonight for Rock Creek, the only thing that really been punishing them was the penalties and the fumbles. But so far in the second half, they've been overcoming them. And for Clay Center, the tables have turned. Like Yumi mentioned earlier, this clock had to be in Clay Center's hands this entire game. And so far, Rock Creek basically said, flip the table, it's ours.
Absolutely. Jackson Pendle adds the extra points. And with 1:38 left here in the third quarter from Mark A. Chapman Activity Complex and Clay Center, it is your Rock Creek Mustangs 31 and the Clay Center Tigers 7. We do want to give a big shout out to Sunflower Consulting and Bookkeeping. They are our official sponsor of the third quarter. Sunflower Consulting and Bookkeeping. They help us out here at Backroads Broadcasting.
Overwhelmed with receipts,
and here's some
invoices,
notes
payroll,
from
and
Sunflower
balancing your
Consulting
books?
and Bookkeeping.
Keeping your financial records organized can be time-consuming and confusing. Contact Cheryl with Sunflower Consulting and Bookkeeping. She provides expert services to help your business stay on track. She ensures your books are ready for tax season, avoiding any last-minute stress. Call Cheryl for a free consultation at 785-506-4008. Reliable, professional, and affordable bookkeeping services you can count on.
Once again, big thank you to Sunflower Consulting and Bookkeeping, our official sponsor of the third quarter. Shout out Cheryl. She does a lot for Backroad Broadcasting. We sure are grateful for you.
Yeah, coming out of the touchdown here, Clay Center. What do you got for us, Tyler?
I mean, they're going to have to find some hurry up in their offense.
Yeah, definitely. I hate to say this. I've said this I think 5 times now. You might be a little annoyed of it, but Clay Center, they got to switch up something here. I get the ground and pound. I get, the bread and butter, but we know when you're trailing by 24 points, it's just really unethical.
Absolutely. I mean, 31-7 late in the third quarter up against a very stiff defense with a really good offense to back up their really good defense in Rock Creek. They've got to find a way to move the ball faster.
Exactly, and I guess this drive will really tell us what we could be expecting for the eternal of this game.
As we've got Hoffman now under center, we got trips now to the rights. We do have Isaac Girton in the backfield. We've got Leitzel in motion once again. They're going to pitch the ball to Leitzel. Leitzel's going to come around the corner. Now, this worked in the first quarter. That's how Clay Center got their lone touchdown of the game. It's not going to be quite good enough right here. We are going to get a gain of about 4 yards, so it's going to bring up second down and 5.5, 6 yards for Clay Center.
Clearly off of that play, we just both witnessed what Rock Creek really established during his halftime break. Really just being able to establish what do they think is going to happen, and then they just pretty much just kind of go with what they think is going to happen, and so far it's happened.
Absolutely. As we have Hoffman under center once again, he's going to give the ball off to Girton. Girton's going to get a couple of yards up the middle. And that's going to be a tackle by Marcelo Ibarra is our tackle on that play. The 6', 205 senior getting in there, getting some action, getting a big tackle. As we're going to be 3rd down and 2 now in the waning seconds. We're under a minute left here in the third quarter in Clay Center.
See what they do here. I think you and me both know what's going to happen. Run up the middle, but we both have been shocked before.
As we got Eitzel in motion, they're going to hand the ball off to him. Ooh, big missed tackle from Kirksey. It's not going to get quite to the sticks. I mean, the forward momentum is going to be pretty close, and they're going to go ahead and signal. That's going to be a first down for Clay Center.
I don't know if we said it enough tonight, but this D-line has, in this second half, has been destroying. Corday Kirksey pretty much is pushing the guy back with one arm and reaching for the tackle. I mean, you can't really teach that. That's just, raw talent.
Absolutely, and athleticism, and Grady Hastert getting in there and making the actual tackle itself. As it does bring up a first down and 10 now for Clay Center. 11 seconds left here in the third quarter as the clock is running. They're going to look at the wristbands. We're under 5 seconds now. They might not get this play off before the end of the quarter. Hoffman's under center. I don't think they're going to get this off, and they're not. They're not. Nope. That's the end of the third quarter. That was Clay Center should have ran a play right there.
Yeah, I was like they're under center. What was we waiting on? Then obviously time ran out.
At the end of 3 from Clay Center, it is your Rock Creek Mustangs 31-7, well in control of this game, well in control of this NCKL contest. Clay Center, man, they're pretty good on the season. Of course, Rock Creek's 4-0, but Clay Center's also 3-1 with their lone loss on the year coming to southeast of Saline. But it's been all Mustangs all nights.
I believe this is my second game circled on my calendar in my head. I do believe this game, if Rock Creek still comes out victorious, as there's still a lot of game left, I do believe this will really put Rock Creek on the top. So,
yeah, Rock Creek, a great team. And you'd said it in the first half how important it was for Peter Martina to actually join this team, having a huge impact as the lone receiver on a trip set on the outside. Martini's had a huge game tonight.
I believe I consider him an X factor. He is handling himself. I mean, who could you ask for a 6'1" wide receiver literally doing it all from, catching basically just, deep balls to, doing the simple thing, just running an out route and catching it. I mean, you could not ask for more from a, tall wide receiver.
Absolutely. As we start the fourth quarter here from Clay Center, Hoffman's going to take the ball from under the center. He's going to throw the ball right over the middle. Ooh, that is right through the hands. That was pretty dangerous. That was right through the hands of Jesse Lies. He had a shot at the interception. Hoffman, that's probably Hoffman's furthest pass attempt of the whole entire evening.
I do believe so. I do believe since it's the fourth quarter, we would not be shocked to see Clay Center go for almost every fourth down here. But it's only second, so still at least 2 more plays to go. But yeah, J.C. Lies basically had that right in his hand, just unfortunately was not able to grasp it.
As Hoffman's back under center, he's going to fake the handoff to Girton, going to throw the ball on a pitch out to Ethan Leitzel. Leitzel's going to get stuffed in the backfield and actually going to lose about 3 yards on the play, and it's going to bring up a big third down and long now. Third down and 13 for Clay Center.
If we could get a replay on that, I mean, talk about just reading the play. Like, I mean, he was ready for it. I mean, already the edge rusher basically breaks through the line and, you know, makes first contact, and then another player was ready right there to make the tackle.
Absolutely. Hoffman checks his wristband, gets under center, looks left to right as we have Noah Gibson in motion. They're going to throw the ball deep. That ball is going to be intended for Ethan Leitzel. It is going to fall incomplete. Well defended. We got 2 defenders for Rock Creek in the area, and that's going to bring up 4th down and 13 to go for Clay Center.
That was a very dangerous throw there. I don't know if you've seen it, but the wide receiver basically had no idea where that ball is, and the defense knew where it was going. Just little unfortunate the ball was overthrown.
Absolutely. That defensive line overpowered the offensive line for Clay Center. Hoffman didn't really have a whole lot of time, kind of threw up a bit of a prayer, and it just didn't really work out that well for Clay Center. As we are in punt formation now for Rock Creek. As we're going to get the punt kicked off. And that ball is going to be fielded by Luke Skinner. Skinner's going to get a gain of about 12 yards before being taken down at the 45-yard line of Rock Creek, where they'll take over 1st down and 10 on their first time touching the ball on the offensive side of the ball here in the 4th quarter.
Tate Smith in this offense comes back out once again. I think you and me both know what's going to happen. I do believe this Rock Creek offense will probably do the ground and pound for maybe the rest of this game, but I will not be shocked to see if we see Tate Smith take a couple more, you know, shots for a 1st down or so.
Absolutely. As this 4th quarter is brought to you by Rock and K's of Manhattan, we see Rock Creek having the ball for the first time as we have Tate Smith in shotgun. We have 3 receivers moving over to the left. Peter Martinez on the far outside. Going to pitch the ball to Luke Smith. Smith's going to find the left seam. He's going to get some good distance on this. His last couple touches have been pretty solid. And this one's going to go for a gain of 8 yards into Clay Center territory. And not quite a 1st down, but more importantly, the clock is going to just keep on running for the Mustangs.
I almost thought he was gone there. I mean, you and me both saw the acceleration right off the edge, but just luckily that Clay Center safety that came down was able to make first contact, and then, you know, everyone else came the group tackle.
Luke Smith, man, he's been having a great night alongside Brody Clark, kind of those from the receiver running back core having great nights. As we keep throwing some chicory, we got 4 receivers to the left now. Smith in the shotgun, going to hand the ball back off to Luke Smith. Smith's going to get the 1st down plus a whole lot more, getting down to the 37-yard line. The clock's going to keep on ticking, and Rock Creek is going to be keeping this drive extended.
Again, ground and pound. Luke Smith drops the shoulder and then just plows through. Do believe kind of a little bit unnecessary, but hey, it's all in the love of the sport and chewing the clock, so great job there.
Rock Creek is well in control of this game. It's kind of a clock game now. Just get the clock ran out, hold on to the ball, maintain possession. As we've got trips receiving from the left to the right once again. Smith is in the backfield. Luke Smith is going to be alongside him. They're going to hand the ball off to Luke Smith. Smith's going to go straight up the middle, get tripped up. He could have got a few more outside of that. Gain of about 4 yards. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 10 from the 32-yard line.
Yeah, seeing the D-line kind of shift right there. You got to be a little bit kind of safe right there. Just because you shift the O-line a little bit doesn't mean, you know, they could run the opposite way, but just great job there by Clay Center to sniff that one out.
The offensive line, buddy, you mentioned it, have been just – it's the offensive line guys are still the same defensive line guys, right? Just being in control of it all evening long on both sides of the ball. Kind of having their way with Clay Center. As we have Smith in the backfield. Trips once again going from left to right. Luke Smith is the lone back. They're going to fake the handoff. They're going to throw the ball. They're going to find Luke Skinner. Luke Skinner's going to find an edge. He's going to get to the corner. He's going to get to the sticks. And that looks like that's going to be, are they going to call it? Are they calling they're calling a touchback on that? They're saying he fumbled the ball out of bounds. I think they're going to call a touchback on that play. You don't see that very often. That happens.
Peter Martini pleading his case over there.
Yeah, it looked like he made it in. As we get some word to see what they're going to call here. Luke Skinner, man, he had a good catch, good way to get it to the outside. They are talking it through the middle.
That's a fumble. That's really unfortunate because
As we're going to be looking, we're going to be getting official word from the. Okay, yep, white hat's coming. Rock Creek celebrating. We're going to be looking at the replay right here.
it's a great job there.
Oh my goodness! Looking at the replay, look at that. He did drop the ball. He did right at the 1 yard line. Yeah. Shout out to Cody Roach, our instant replay.
Good job by Cody there. He does fumble it, but then just grabs it right before it goes into the end zone. I mean, Cody, that could not have been a better replay. Just kind of.
Yeah. So they do call that a touchdown for Rock Creek, and where it happened for Luke Skinner was he did fumble the ball going into the end zone, but where they correctly called the touchdown was he picked it back up.
Yeah.
And scored. It never went out of bounds. So if it went out of bounds, of course, that's going to be a touchback. That's going to be Clay Center's ball. But the fact that he fumbled going into the end zone, but then still picked up the ball before going out of bounds is what called that a touchdown for Rock Creek.
We didn't give enough credit there to the Clay Center cornerback for just, in general, just stripping that ball away. Just a little unfortunate that the ball happened to bounce basically right back into Luke Skinner's arms. But just, I'm still going to give credit to the Clay Center for at least giving an attempt to it.
All Rock Creek all night, 38-7 now, 8:50 left in the fourth quarter from Mitch Fortner Family Stadium here in Clay Center, Kansas, or the Mark A. Chapman Activity Complex, whatever you want to call this place. But the fourth quarter is brought to you by Rockin' K's. If you're hungry for something legendary, head to Rockin' K's right next to Bill Snyder Family Stadium in Manhattan. We're serving up crowd favorites like brisket nachos, Asian wraps, juicy burgers, and fresh, crave-worthy salads. Planning a party? Their event spaces are perfect for birthdays, holiday bashes, and corporate mixers. So whether you're tailgating or celebrating, Rockin' K's brings the flavor and fun. You can find Rockin' K's by the bill. Find them online at eatingmhk.com. And, of course, also check out their sister stores. Kites Bar and Grill, that's where you meet your friends. And also Mr. K's Cafe and Bar is celebrating 15 years on the west side of Manhattan.
Believe it or not, Rock Creek has not allowed a team to score more than 14 points on defense this season. And actually that record was broken last week when Abilene scored 14. But tonight, stout defense. Clay Center, I get what you're trying to get here with your bread and butter, but in some cases you kind of have to break away. Like we've seen Rock Creek do tonight. Bread and butter was pounding the rock, and then tonight they're airing it out. Yeah,
I mean, Zion Bell has been averaging nearly 9 yards per attempt all season long. Not quite there, but they haven't really needed him to do that tonight. A lot of passing, and Tate Smith has done a really great job. As Clay Center is going to take over first down and 10 from their own 30. Let's see where they spot the ball. Looks like the 34-yard line.
If you're Zion Bell, you're kind of like relieved that the weight just kind of comes off your shoulders here, as you know you've been pretty much relied on for the last 4 games of the season, and now tonight, you're like, nice that we get the passing game going, and then you get to put Luke Smith in to kind of, wrap it up. So great job tonight.
Absolutely. And also just everybody else on the offensive side of the ball for Clay Center has been having a great evening. And honestly, their defense has been doing great as well. As we got Drew Hoffman for Clay Center under center. We've got Ethan Leitzel in motion. Smith's going to take out to the right side, but he's going to be brought down in the backfield.
Great job there by the edge rusher there.
By Corday Kirksey getting in there and getting some loving, baby.
Yeah, great job there, just shooting out of a rocket and then giving the quarterback no time to, we got a replay.
As we look at the replay, Kirksey comes in untouched. The right tackle, Levi Kramer for Clay Center, didn't even see him coming, had no shot attempt, and he brought down Hoffman in the backfield for a huge loss. So that's second down and 17 now as Hoffman throws the ball and pitches to the outside to Isaac Gurton. Gurton's going to get pretty close to maybe a yard past the original line of scrimmage, but not too much happening right there for the Clay Center offense.
Yeah, right there. You're down by now 31 points, and we're still running the ball, which I get what the coach is going for here. They might have that mentality of we might have lost this game, but I still want to, establish what we're known for. So
1,000%. And of course, next week, Clay Center's going to be traveling to Concordia for another NCKL matchup.
As Rock Creek goes home to play Marysville.
Huge game, baby. It's going to be a huge game next weekend. As we see what happens right here, Hoffman under center. Everybody checks their wristbands once again. Hoffman's going to be rolling out. He's going to be throwing. Oh, it's going to be picked off. That could be a pick 6. That's a huge, huge pick for Clay Center. Had a good chance to get down there. That was a great. Yeah, that was a great pickoff for Clay Center.
That was basically a throw right to the cornerback, just right there. I believe that's Brody Clark just playing catch with the quarterback.
That was Brody Clark, number 9. Huge. I mean, got that ball. That was a great play for the Rock Creek defense. Rock Creek fully in control of this game, all 3 phases from start to finish. And that is just kind of, that interception right there is just kind of a cherry on top of the sundae.
That basically kind of sums it up for all you fans who possibly just joined the game tonight. Clay Center has just really not been what they've been known for all year, like on film, establishing this run. But tonight it's just been, just pretty much kind of inconsistent in the second half. The first half, obviously you, Tyler, and me were both kind of, questionable what they do after halftime, and now we kind of know what happened.
Luke Smith with another carry straight up the middle. Zion Bell we haven't had much need for him to run the ball and risk him here in the second half, as Luke Smith's been doing a pretty good job running the rock.
In fact, I believe we only seen Zion Bell, I think, 4 times in the second half.
I mean, it was 24-7 was a halftime score. 2 touchdowns have been added for Rock Creek in the second half. Nothing for Clay Center as they've just been in control of the game as they give it to Luke Smith once again.
Still fighting
all night long. Going to get a gain of about a yard. It's going to be a third down, but it's going to be from the 10-yard line as that clock, more importantly, just keeps on running.
If I'm correct, I believe that's possibly their 3rd tackle for loss on the night. So a great job there by Clay Center. Just, obviously they know what's happening, so being able to stop it.
And, of course, the tackles for a loss all night. Any big stop by the Mustangs defense is brought to you by Faith Furniture in Manhattan. Of course, with Faith Furniture, you've got to have faith. Thank you to Faith Furniture for being a presenting sponsor for Rock Creek football right here on Backwood Broadcasting. Thank you as well to Farmers State Bank for bringing us your score banner. As Smith takes the ball, heads it off to Luke Smith. Smith's going to get to the 5-yard line, shake off 1 tackle, gain a couple extra yards, get down to the 3-yard line, and that's going to be a first down for Rock Creek.
Great job there by Luke Smith, finding the gaps, and then, obviously all running backs are pretty much also have to do as part of the job. Fight for some more extra yards, and Luke Smith does just that and puts the Rock Creek Mustangs at the 3-yard line.
Luke Smith has been certainly earning his dinner here in the second half, without a doubt, as Tate Smith from the shotgun takes a couple snaps or takes a couple barks, sees what happens, looks back at his coordinators, looks back at the offensive line, takes a snap, hands the ball off to Smith. Smith straight up the middle, going to basically go untouched for a Rock Creek touchdown.
Great job there by Luke Smith. Just basic get ball, run ball, score ball. I mean, nothing more than that. Clay Center just kind of almost really just didn't touch him.
44 points now scored by this Clay Center defense. Well, 44 points allowed by the Clay Center defense, but 44 points scored by this Rock Creek defense, and they've been kind of continuing the whole entire story as they have been for the rest of the season. Just high scores, good defense, winning games.
Big difference from last week's game versus Abilene. Rock Creek only scored 28, and that was partially because of some offensive issues. But tonight, it's just been pound that rock, and then just air out the rock, and then Clay Center just wasn't expecting it.
As Jackson Pinto adds the extra points, it is now 45-7, 5:05 left here in Clay Center in this big NCKL matchup. I know we got 5 minutes left in this game, but you mentioned Marysville at home next week from the Rock.
I'm pretty excited for it, to be honest.
Rock Creek's going to be feeling pretty good to go back at home against a pretty good Marysville team.
Yeah, unfortunate that they are 0-4. We'll probably give you guys the score updates closer, more towards the end of this game about the scores going around the league. But yeah, even though Marysville's may not have a win, I mean, treat every game as, could be your last, as I'd say it, Just never underestimate your opponents, and Rock Creek obviously did not do that tonight, so great job to them.
Absolutely. Clay Center 3-1 on the season. Their lone loss coming to southeast of Saline. They beat some pretty good teams, including Chapman. They put 44 points up on Chapman last week.
Yeah, Chapman
then a big 44-8 win over the Irish.
Yeah, that was a very ground and pound game for Clay Center too. The Chapman just were not able to respond quickly enough, and Clay Center took that game. But sadly tonight, Rock Creek will keep their undefeated streak alive, which for a senior like me, even though I'm not, on the field doing, working my butt off for these wins, but, just an aspect of being able to see my classmates go on that field and, represent the Rock is just really emotional, and it's also really cool too.
Absolutely, man. I mean, these are your brothers. You grew up with these guys, so it just means more at Rock Creek, right?
Yeah, definitely. And then in 2 weeks will be senior night, and so
yeah, a special night then. Hey, that's in a couple weeks, but it's a special squad up until then, as we just saw the kickoff return from Clay Center. Get up to about the 30-yard line. That's where the Tigers will take over. First down and 10 with 4:58 left here in the fourth quarter left in the game here in Clay Center. It's been all Rock Creek all night, 45-7.
I believe for Clay Center, I think for these last 4 minutes, 58 seconds, you're just kind of establishing, giving more film to Concordia next week. But overall in the night, the biggest weaknesses for Clay Center was just probably just not being able to establish the pass game.
Absolutely, as Isaac Girton's going to get the handoff from Hoffman, get a few yards up the middle. Kind of been the same offense, same thing that we've been seeing all night. Few yards, gets stopped by Rock Creek, and that's going to bring up a second down and about 6 to go.
Yeah, for Rock Creek, 5-0, a very big. If I'm trying to think of the word, like it's a very big thing. I don't even know. The last time I believe they were 5-0 was when I was a freshman and we were playing Silver Lake, Rossville, St. Mary's type schools, and now we're up to playing, Clay Center, Chapman, Abilene, Wamego finally. It's a big thing for these boys.
Dude, you're talking about the old school Mid-East League days. Man, those were, the C.J. Hamilton squad coach teams at Silver Lake, when it was C.J. Hamilton against Mike Beam at Rock Creek versus Silver Lake, man, those used to be some battles back in those days.
Yeah, I would agree with you, but obviously I was not as big as a sports fanatic as I am now, which very grateful to be able to know this knowledge. And, I'm going to say it again, having this opportunity to come on Backroads Broadcast and work with Tyler or Isaiah or Cody, I mean, it's a privilege. And if someone were to ask me, like a question about something like this, I mean, you just take the shots. If someone offers you something like once in a lifetime opportunity, never, deny it. Always, take your shot. I mean, worst comes to worst, you could, completely, fail. But
dude, for a senior in high school, you do really good at this, and you're not scared. Like, you're bold to go after what you want, and that's pretty commendable. As Clay Center comes in, punts the ball. Luke Skinner's deep to receive it. He's just going to let that one go. My goodness, that had a Tigers bounce all over it. It's going to roll out of bounds at the 12-yard line. That's where Clay Center is going to take over. First down and 10, 3:10 left here in the fourth quarter from Clay Center. It's been all Rock Creek all night long, 45-7.
Yeah, we'll not be shocked to see if we get to see Gavin Rosa come in for a couple more couple snaps here. Overall tonight, just to give you guys, obviously we'll have a end game show. Just pretty much tonight, Rock Creek establishing the pass game, which Clay Center was not prepared for in film. Was there, all probably week they were, hoping, Rock Creek was going to run the ball, and then they come into this game, and now Rock Creek's throwing the ball.
Absolutely. Tate Smith has done a great job tonight. I know a lot of controversy of Tate Smith versus Gavin Rosa, the sophomore versus the senior, and Tate Smith has responded very well and has played very great football tonight.
I don't know if I can do a comparison to this, but this is going to be the Jackson Dart vibes, Russell Wilson was in, things weren't working out, and, Jackson Dart, which is Tate Smith in this situation, comes in with his one opportunity to prove to the coaches that, he's the man, he's the guy for the job, and he's doing it.
Absolutely. Playing pretty good football tonight. We've had some pretty good passes. Had some good runs from Zion Bell, some great runs from Luke Smith. It's just been a great overall offensive efforts, a quality offensive effort for Rock Creek. As Smith is going to hand the ball off now. A couple yards up the middle. Clock is going to keep on running. 2:22 left in the fourth quarter. As the clock is just going to keep on running down. All Rock Creek all night long and they're going to be moving to 5-0 on the season after this game.
Very exciting for Rock Creek, but if you're the coaches, you gotta keep your players in check. Being undefeated is great and all, but you gotta keep earning this win. You just don't get them; you gotta earn them. It's just like driving. Driving's a privilege, so is winning.
That's a great analogy, my friend. You are wise beyond your years there, Mr. Zander. You're doing a pretty good job with it. As Luke Smith taking the ball up the middle once again, not quite enough for the first down on a third down play. It'll bring up fourth down. See if Clay Center calls a timeout here. It appears they may not. The clock's going to keep on running. 90 seconds left here in the contest from Clay Center. I would imagine Rock Creek's probably going to kick the ball and just run timeouts and just keep on keeping the clock on moving.
Do believe so. Just the offensive flip from last week to this week is a enormous change. I mean, last week the offense had some fumbles, some interceptions, some punts here and there. But this week I think they've only punted once. I think they did only one time this drive, and being able to see this flip on offense is really cool.
As a huge kick from Pinnock is going to be returned by Clay Center. It's going to be a huge tackle by Rock Creek's number 10, Wyatt Wells, getting in there. Wyatt Wells, of course, one of the guys in the quarterback room, coming in making a huge tackle right there. Clay Center's going to take over first down and 10. We got 52 seconds left remaining in the ball game. They're going to take over first down and 10 from the Rock Creek 49-yard line.
I was thinking they may knee it, but nope, they're going to keep fighting, which I respect that. No matter if I was our coach, no matter if I was losing by 100, 50, I'm still telling my team, still go out there and play as if, it's a close game.
Absolutely, for sure. As we give the ball back to Isaac Girton, he's going to make just a little attempt to the outside. He's going to get tackled by Nick Allen, the Will linebacker for that Rock Creek defense. Cox going to be rolling. We're going to be at 30 seconds left here in the game. Of course, Rock Creek's going to win this one. They're going to move to 5-0 on the season. Clay Center is going to move on to 3-2. Rock Creek is at home next week against Marysville. Xander said it. Marysville's 0-4 without knowing a score of what they're doing this evening. And then so far it's been a decent Concordia team in the NCKL as well.
Yeah, Concordia, last time I checked, they were 2-2. We actually play them on senior night, so that'll be pretty exciting. So just really, instead of thinking of senior night, I'm just kind of thinking of, next game.
As we got just a couple of snaps left right here in the game, and that'll
do it.
That is going to be the final play of the game. So we do have a final score from the Mark A. Chapman Activity Center in Clay Center, Kansas, where your Rock Creek Mustangs are going to take home the victory, move to 5-0 on the season. They're going to win this game 45-7.
Great job there by Rock Creek. The biggest game flip I've seen from winning the game 28-14 to now 45-7. You can't beat that. That was pretty good offensive play by Rock Creek to start off the game. I mean, those early passes. I mean, it was his the first start of the season for Tate Smith. That first pass from Tate Smith to Peter Martini on that cross route over the middle it kind of set the tone for the game. And then before you knew it, I mean, dude, just think about this. I thought of this as well. 45-7 was the final score. Rock Creek even fumbled the ball on the 1-yard line. Yeah, Rock Creek, I think they had 3 fumbles, and they still came up victorious. I mean, that just shows great discipline. No matter, what the casualty is, what happens, player goes down, yada, yada. Your coaches are able to, combine all your players and be like, hey, something tragic happened or, something happened. It doesn't matter. Forget about it. Time to move on and keep going.
Of course, we had some great sponsors for this evening. Thank you to Fox Home Innovations for being our pregame sponsor. Thank you as well to Price Physical Therapy, Sunflower Consulting, and Bookkeeping. Big thank you to Shortstop. No matter where you're going or how long it takes to get there, you'll always have time for a shortstop. Thank you as well to Farmers State Bank, to Faith Furniture, to Crossroads Real Estate and Auction. Thank you to Flint Hills ISR. And also, big thank you to you for checking out our ball game, man. This has been pretty fun. The honor of a lifetime, my friends.
The first time I ever get to do it with Tyler. I forgot my last name.
Tyler Jackson.
Tyler Jackson.
Only,
I gotta say, yeah. And you used to do the morning show.
I did the morning show for B1047 for a long time. It's called Tyler and Megan in the Morning, and it was kind of fun when I did the morning show. Friday night football, we did Rock Creek football games on the area game of the week, and I've always loved Rock Creek football. Personally speaking, big shout out to our spotter for the evening, Mr. Owen Dye. He's a 5th grader for Rock Creek. They've got a big game at Chapman tomorrow, by the way, 10 a.m.
Jeez, that's early.
Yep, my niece Brooklyn plays for the volleyball team. She's a senior at Rock Creek, Brooklyn Dye. And so, but Rock Creek's been in my blood, and it's an honor, Xander, to do this game with you.
It's also an honor to listen to the man that I grew up watching, listening to on, I believe, it was not B1047?
Yeah.
Every morning, I think I remember waking up, and then, on the way to my school, because I lived at St. George because I moved there, but I still went to Westy. We'd leave. Did you guys do, I believe, at like 7:30 to 7 you guys started your show? I don't vividly remember. It's been a while. But
we started that at 6 o'clock. It was 6 to 10 every morning. And that's if I wasn't late.
Yeah.
Dude, it's the good Lord was watching out for me. I'll tell you that. I was late a couple of times, but it was an honor of a lifetime to be able to do that morning show. And thank you so much for listening.
I know. I vividly remember telling my mom, I was like, Mom, turn on this B1047. They talked about some weird things, but also some interesting things on there. And I mean, it's a thing I'll never forget, But I really appreciate being able to work with a man I've never thought I'd ever meet in person.
Oh, my goodness. You're
make me cry.
Yeah, no kidding. You're going to make me blush. All right, well, the post-game show will continue coming up here in just a few moments. You're listening to Tyler, and you're listening to Xander as Rock Creek takes home the cake, 45-7, your final score from Clay Center. Welcome back to Clay Center. Welcome back to the Mark A. Chapman Activity Center as the post-game show continues. Rock Creek gets it done. 45-7 is your final score as the Mustangs in this NCKLL matchup tops the Tigers. My friend, it sounds like we have some scoreboard updates from the rest of the NCKL.
We do. I was just informed that Rock Creek will be going to play at home versus the 0-5 Marysville Bulldogs. So a little unfortunate there. They lost to Abilene 21-6. So a little unfortunate there, but only update I have on Concordia game is Concordia and Chapman are tied up 20-20 at the end of the third, but this was a while ago, so don't know anything about that yet. But tonight, I'll let you do Rock Creek. I'll do Clay Center. You kind of want to take it away for Rock Creek. What you noticed tonight?
Tate Smith played great. Tate Smith did a really good job in his first career start as a sophomore, coming into a game against a really good physical Clay Center team. He threw the ball well. He had some good pitches and catches. He had some good he had some good plays. He did have a tendency, I did notice, to immediately roll out of the pocket, roll to the right. His best passes of the evening was when he wasn't actually looking to the opposite side. There was a couple passes to Martini where he'd be looking to the right, then he'd throw back to the left, and those were his best passes of the game. Other than that, I didn't have much to say about the kid. He came in, did a great job. So Tate Smith did a great job. Peter Martini had some big catches. We had Brody Clark had some big catches. Luke Skinner had a great game. And then, of course, Zion Bell, man. He's one of the best running backs in the entire state of Kansas.
Yeah, I believe so. Actually, I do believe he is, actually.
Yeah, I mean, if we had high school fantasy football, I would absolutely, without a doubt, take Zion Bell as one of my fantasy running backs because he gets you points. I mean, coming into the game tonight, the dude was averaging 7 yards per carry.
I know. You don't really know a running back that's doing that. Okay, for sorry.
Oh, no. I was going to ask you, what was your thoughts on Clay Center?
For Clay Center tonight, I think you and me both know the problem. Well, I guess we'll call it a problem / it's just they got to establish the pass. I mean, yes, bread and butter is great and all, but it's only good and all if, you can actually succeed from it. And they really haven't succeeded tonight as they're going on to play Concordia. And Concordia is not an opponent to mess around with. They're, pretty much the same thing they do, but they also include the pass. But for Clay Center, I always like to do one good thing, one bad thing. Obviously, we'll start off with the bad thing. It's just they gotta become more than one trick pony. They gotta be able to be more diverse. One good thing, though, I do believe. I mean, you may not agree with me. Their defense is actually, I do believe, really good.
Agreed.
It's just Rock Creek is just a lot better offensively. Their defense actually created turnovers. Even when they punched that ball out that 1 yard line, it's just really unfortunate. He landed on it. But other than that, their defense really did their job. It was just when you come into a game expecting one thing and then they come out the other thing, it's really hard to transition. But other than that, Clay Center 3-2. Can't be mad about that. Rock Creek 5-0. So that's all I got for Clay Center.
Well, look at the offense for Clay Center. I mean, it's a ground and pound attack.
Yeah.
That's not really a hurry up offense. And so that doesn't help out whatever your defense is. It's a great defense. They're just the offense intensity wasn't there to match them.
Yep. But that is all from me.
Absolutely. Me too, my friends. Well, we do want to give a big shout out one more time to all of our sponsors for tonight. Big thank you to Fox Home Innovations. Thank you to Price Physical Therapy, Sunflower Consulting, and Bookkeeping. Thank you as well to Shortstop for bringing the Bandit Brain teaser. Those are always fun. Thank you as well to Rockin' K's, Farmer State Bank, Faith Furniture, Flint Hills ISR, and Crossroads Real Estate and Auction. Many hands to bring Rock Creek football your way. We also want to give a big shout out to our production director. Big thank you to Cody Roach. Thank you to our production manager, our owner of Crossroads. We want to give a big shout out to Cody Liming, Liming Productions, the one and only. Thank you to Owen Dye for being our spotter. Thank you so much to Xander Dick for crushing on color analysis, my friend. For a senior in high school, bro, you crush.
Thank you, Tyler, for coming on tonight and helping me out.
Yep. Well, thank you so much. It's been an honor of a lifetime. My name's Tyler Jackson from Clay Center. Rock Creek wins it 45-7. You've been watching Backroads Broadcasting.